The realest podcast ever. The realest podcast ever. Y'all's the hate on all of my moves, but now niggas on it. Y'all used to bait me on me and my views, but now niggas on it. I used to tell them I'ma have me a show, but now niggas on it. Her homies on it. Your homies on it. Y'all's the hate on all of my moves, but now niggas on it. Y'all used to debate me on me and my views, but now niggas on it. I used to tell them I'ma have me a show, but now niggas on it. Her homies on it. Your homies on it. The realest podcast ever. The realest podcast ever. The realest podcast ever. The realest podcast ever.
Yo, we back. Realest podcast ever, episode 124. I am your back on social media host. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter at official TRPE. C Diddy.
Oh, that's my okay. That makes me sick.
That's called a throw. I throw to you.
No, I thought you was about to start. I was honestly about to take got caught at the last second. Like, oh shit. Yeah, you're not gonna be on Twitter for much longer.
Yeah, everybody's like, do you like it here?
Yeah.
Do you like it here?
So what did you? They should get together and kill her.
Oh yeah.
Yo, this nigga, man.
my man say, yeah, man. It's like this girl, baby father, her boyfriend, always, or two baby fathers is always on the block fighting over. I'm like, man, they should just get together and kill her. She's obviously the problem.
Y'all be funny. Lil the other day was like, any bitch that ain't fuck me deserve to die.
Yo, somehow, some way,
y'all crack me up, man.
He never gets his page suspended. Like,
I think it was it Love, Mitch? It might have been BF. It was like, why I can't say what everybody else get to say. Like, and I've seen some people out like, Deuce one day was like, let that have been me.
Yeah, Deuce been suspended 54 times.
Certain pages are just.
If BF get on there and say they be like, nope, report violates community guidelines.
It's like hotbeds. Like, they just know, like, you just constantly on the radar for shit.
Yeah, so I've had one page I deleted on my own, another page that they got me up out of there, and I'm on my third strike right now. So, I've learned that the key to avoiding suspension is deletion. If you delete shit within like a 30 to 60 minute window, you're usually pretty safe, because I guess they do they scans at certain times and get you out of there. When Twitter was down the other day, I thought they got me out of there again. I was like, yo,
Twitter was down there.
It was like, yo, why I can't tweet? Yo, what's going on? And I tweeted why I can't tweet, and Love was like, you just did, bro.
Yo. I went back to work the other day.
Yeah.
So my first trip was just nonsense. It was just utter nonsense. And I got to the end of the line, and I'm like, one trip, and I'm just, these can't be the niggers that Martin Luther King marched for. And I tweeted that, and I started to get some traction. I was like, nope, let me get ready.
Get this out of here.
Yeah, let me get this out of here. Like, this ain't going to last.
Yeah, the problem is, it's like, all it takes is like
the one wrong person to pick it up.
And it's over.
And,
now you're on the cover of Vice.com.
Yeah, you on the cover of Flavor magazine for some nonsense. It should be ridiculous. Yeah. And the whole time, I tried to explain it to somebody the other day. The thing that, you ever try to explain Twitter to people who aren't on Twitter?
It's impossible.
And they don't, because we're all on Twitter. Like,
it's like trying to explain the Pythagorean theorem.
It's nuts. Or try to explain to someone who doesn't like wash up and eat 3 meals circadic rhythm. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand this shit. And I was trying to tell somebody the other day, like, pulling up old tweets is so ridiculous.
Yes.
Because you change. I don't give a fuck what, Cole Hamels tweeted in 2010. It doesn't bother me.
Who did they get the other day? Sada Baby from Detroit. Okay. They got Sada Baby. He said one of the tweets was, I don't know about y'all, but that bitch Beyonce can die. So,
right, what?
So where it all started was. And keep in mind, this is from 10 years ago, literally. Right. He's 28, so that means he was 18 at the time. So where it all started from, he has the Whole Lot of Choppers remix with Nicki Minaj.
Okay.
So the barbs are like, on Twitter, like, yo, why you ain't promoting the Whole Lot of Choppers remix? You on some nut shit. And he said, respectfully, eat my whole dick, bitch. So that basically started a groundswell, and then the Barbs start digging into his life.
Let me go look and
let me go look and see, and it was just bad. Whole bunch of homophobic, transphobic messages. The Beyonce John was what ended up in the apology.
Oh.
Yeah, they looked like his apology video looked like the bull in the courtroom. Your Honor,
Oh yeah,
I'm
singing
sorry.
But here's my issue with that. Twitter at one point was the Wild Wild West.
It was slander and rape culture.
It was numb. You know what I'm saying? That's what it was. That shit was Vietnam. And if you weren't there, if you didn't experience it, you really, really have no understanding of why words like rape, maggot with an F, why these words just rang the fuck off.
Yeah.
I looked at some old tweets the other day and I'm just like, yo, these are hilarious, but they look so terrible with 2020 lenses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How? You know what I wonder all the time?
Somebody said dykes come home and hang their dildo up on the hook with their keys. It's like, shit like that in 2009 was the norm.
A certain friend to the show, who may or may not have been on the live show, said that said that dykes wear they dildo in an armpit holster like Dick Tracy. What, man? You can't say that. Like, this was the norm, yo.
Twitter really was ridiculous, man. I saw the old tweet from somebody who's very successful in the city. And one of his homies
very successful in the city is funny every time you say it.
One of his homies was like, wow, yo, I can't believe how decent the day was. I never had a surprise party in my life. And he commented on the tweet, was like, you was really surprised? Man, you a maggot, whatever. It was just like, what? Are you a surprise? Like, but
another friend to the show had one that said, if you in a club and a nigga make it rain and $1 hits your face, you a maggot with an F.
Yo. It's like that was like the actual culture from back then. And it, that don't make you, what I'm saying, homosexual.
Right.
But it's just,
it makes you an asshole.
Yo, but it's like that was the goings-ons of the day with early Twitter, early Facebook, all of that shit. Before there was censorship, think about it, you could post anything could post straight fucking on Instagram at one point.
Can't post shit now.
If a chick posts and got too much cleavage, you might get the fuck off of it. Like,
violates community guidelines.
Yeah, it's like that, and people from now, you're looking at it through a 2020 lens where everybody's offended about any and everything. And back in the day, those wild tweets were funny. And it's like, it was just, We
used to have the 4 p.m. hashtag where we would get on there and just tweet the most outlandish shit.
Remember Third Shift?
Oh my
Yo, that's when we became super cool. Like Third Shift Twitter was nuts. Twitter After Dark.
Yeah.
Remember Fat Ho Orgy? Like, oh my dog. That shit was like a real thing.
And here's the thing, it wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't.
It was 9
years
ago.
9 years ago, yeah. And I was explaining to somebody the other day, like, if you weren't on Twitter, you don't understand like Temecula. Remember that?
Yeah.
The Kobe jump?
Yes,
like, you don't understand all these different jumps because you just wasn't in the Philly Twitter hashtag and the other hashtags that were going on at the time. So it's like, yo, it's what it is. And I hate the fact that they'll go now and like look up your name with a word and, what did you, in 2011, what did you mean when you said.
Back in like 2017, I saw a woman on Twitter say, if you want to know anything about a man, search his @name with these keywords. And it was like 15 words and see what pops up.
Real
and
shit.
That'll tell you should date him or not. And I'm like,
that ain't
not
it.
really.
No, that ain't it. My thing is this, and this is just where I'm going to leave it. If in America, credit resets after 7 years,
right?
Why the fuck are we talking about tweets?
That's real shit.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's real shit.
Like, so I could fuck up on this $400,000 house, and in 7 years is cool.
I'm back, baby.
But you worry about why I call somebody a son of a bitch in 2009, and it's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
I've been watching it's 3 hours long, so I've been watching it in parts, but I've been watching the Kanye Rogan interview over the weekend, and even into today. And he said something that was very poignant in the midst of all the bullshit he was saying. But he said something that was very poignant, which is there's 1 billion people on the internet. compared to like 8 billion people in the world.
Right.
So you think that this shit that's going on the internet is like a majority opinion, when in reality,
it's not.
Even if it's only a portion of 15% of people that feel this way.
Right.
Because the other 85% don't even see the shit.
Right.
So it's like we've been conditioned to think like
that the internet is everything.
That the internet is everything. And even Kevin Hart, when he was on Rogan, he said the same thing. He was like, you post something and you get non-negative comments, and then you go outside and people like, hey, what's going on? He's like, oh, you seen my post? He's like, no, what post? What you talking about? He was like, oh, no, nothing. Then you go to another person and they saying something, yeah, because so. What you talking about, my post? I was like, Kevin, what the fuck are you talking about? He was like, and it consumes you because you get wrapped up in thinking that everything revolves around the internet, when in reality it doesn't.
Recently, I just didn't go on Instagram for like, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, you told me it was almost over.
Yeah, I've been contemplating it. It's like, but I didn't go on there for like 4 or 5 days, and like, people dead ass be like, yo, you cool? And it'd be like, yeah, I just had a well-balanced dinner. What's the issue?
I ate lovely today.
Yo, I got Brussels sprouts. I fucking, like, it was lit. Like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
But that's really like, if it, like, I can't remember the exact verbiage, but it was something to the like, if it ain't for the gram, it didn't, if the gram don't see it.
It didn't exist.
Some shit like that. And it's like, yeah, yo, like, I watch people like, it's funny because somebody saw me the other day and he ain't seen me in a little while, and he was like, damn, dog, like, I be seeing the pictures on the gram, and he's like, it's wild, like, being in front of you, like, yo, you really like muscular and shit, and it's just like, the fuck did you put on muscle? And I'm just like, they have gymnasiums that you
there's this guy named Jack LaLanne, and back in the 1850s,
yo,
he created
like,
these gymnasiums where people gather and work out.
He was like, yeah, he's like, I don't know, like, I don't know, because he's like, you don't never post in the gym, so I ain't know if you were still fucking with it or whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, no, I normally just go in the gym and pick up the weights. You know what I'm saying? But it's wild though, because I watch people come in the gym, and I'm talking about first.
Gotta set the camera up.
And they, like, I'm talking about first day in the gym, and it's just like,
first day back.
you don't have to do this.
It's a long grind and a deep burn.
But this is where people have gotten. It's like, I have to show every single thing so that people understand what I'm doing, what's going on, and how I'm living out this joint. And it's like, yo, in reality, it's like, it's crazy because, like, I got friends, like my man Jared, he listens to podcasts, and he don't fuck with social media at all.
Right.
And I used to, maybe a couple years ago, I'd be like, I low-key thought, like, he's a serial killer, or, you know what I'm saying? Something.
How you not on no social
something's
media?
not right.
Yeah.
But then in the last couple years, I've really gotten to the point where I'm just like, yeah, no, I can see how you just are a lot more peaceful, and just, you know, because you're not bound by the same restrictions, to where it's like, when your food come in the restaurant, you can start eating while it's hot.
You don't even have to take a picture.
Yeah, like, you don't even got your phone
You
out.
don't even have to do your 10 by 10 hashtag.
You
so
dig
that
me?
your meal goes viral.
Like, I've seen people, the food come to the table, and I'm talking about as soon as it's pictures, flashes, you know, read from here with it, you know, and like, and just.
Hey, waitress man, come here. Let me get this picture from me.
Waitresses now have to have like a photography background. Like, real shit.
About how many pictures have you taken lifetime?
Yeah.
Over or under 1,000?
Man, it's wild. Like, and you really see it, especially for our age range, and something else that like put it in perspective for you when you hang around people that are like older.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, my dad's on Facebook and Instagram and shit, but it's not like his life.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I just got a Facebook. You know, when he see two dogs arguing, he'll send me the video. Hey, this is funny. Like, that's the day. That's his, you know what I'm saying? But he not like on there where he like actively meeting people and trying to see what's what and looking for the nigger news
like
and
black people meet.
yeah. But even that, it's like we've gotten to the point where we like the nonsense part of it too.
Yeah.
And that was where I got the other day, where I saw something going with like a friend of mine's, and I saw something going with another friend of mine, and I'm just like, y'all really be for like the nonsense on these joints. And
I mean, there's a whole black media industry built around nonsense. Like, all of them joints, Hollywood Unlocked,
Baller Alert, all that shit.
All that shit is built around nonsense. There's literally 1% of the content on there that can actually help you with your life, and it's usually a paid sponsor from a credit repair agency.
Yeah.
Other than that, we with the shits.
And I watch people who actively are in every one of them comments. And
I unfollow them people.
Yo, it'd be like, what's up with you, sis? Like, why? Why are you like this?
Unfollow. If you have time for that shit, I know you not spending no time doing personal development and like in wealth building. Like you can't.
I didn't even know who Lil Baby's baby mama was. Why are you cursing at her?
There's 19 screens about her on one.
Why are you cursing at this lady? It's mind-boggling. You know, and I think Yizzo had posted the other day, like, is social media less entertaining than it was years ago? And I'm like, oh hell yeah! Like,
without a doubt, nothing to even talk about.
Because and I've gotten to that point. And it's crazy because I honestly didn't think I would get to that point where I go days without going on this shit, like dead ass days. And it'll be like somebody will send me something or whatever, and I'll be like, oh, go look, whatever. I'll look at a couple stories, you know, maybe two or three of these thumb scrolls, and I'm just like, all right, I'm out of here.
Yeah, no, listen, like sometimes, like when I'll get on Twitter and I just gotta check the temperature to what's going on. I'll go scroll and check and see what everybody talking about. I'll be like, nah, not today.
Yo,
it's not a good day for me to be here. Like I don't need to be a part of this. I'm gonna go ahead and go read a book.
Before we get into the Kanye show, how was your week? Did you do anything?
No, not really. Nothing in particular. You know, I just been around, kind of. Not really much going on. I did have. I didn't get to talk about it last week because we had our political connects here, but I actually did a photo shoot party for Cavassier last Sunday. They had an Airbnb. They did photo shoot content. A couple influencers and different people that's big in the city were there. So that was cool.
Successful in the city.
Yeah, successful in the city. They were around and whatnot. So I had that going on. Other than that, man, nothing. I'm just, behind the scenes, just plugging away, doing what need be done to build the show up. That's like, literally, I give myself every day 1 to 2 action items a day to do something to enhance the quality of the show.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild because, people really be coming up to me, pulling up in traffic, like, yo, I fucks with y'all. She's like, yeah. And I
hit y'all the other day in a group chat and was like, yo, something is happening.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but, like, something is happening because, like, our numbers just, like, jump the fuck up. Like,
it's the consistency.
Yeah, like, our numbers just, like, literally overnight, like, just jump the fuck up. And, like, our YouTube... I think our content was up like 811%.
Yeah.
Like month over month as far as like impressions and people seeing it. And I'm like, yo, like the consistency is there.
Yeah,
like
consistency is key.
And it's working. And it's like we got other content we didn't drop yet. Like we got an interview with Freeway that we did at the Be Woke Vote event. We interviewed our guy DJ Caution. Like we had Senator Vincent Hughes. Like, and a bunch of people hit me about the last episode, basically saying like, this is a game changer for y'all. Like y'all are having real deal different types of conversations. And we've had that feedback in the past, but it's like, yo, you got 2 elected officials on your show at the same time in studio. Your platform is moving.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
So I just literally every day just give myself something to do. We're in Europe now. We're on Deezer in Europe now. So I made sure that we got on that feed. There's a new app called Podcast Gang that just came out. So basically, like I said, literally every single day, 7 days a week, I go and I look what directories are we on, where are we not on, what needs to be refreshed, updated. I got a whole push for us with YouTube, with a social media agency. So that's just what I'm on. Like literally.
I literally be out in the street and people just be yelling out the window. People be coming up saying shit. The other day, one of the new guys in my depot, he came flying around the block. He pulls up, was like, yo, can I ask you a question real quick? I'm like, what's up? Out the truck and shit. He's like, yo, my man, he be talking about this podcast he listened to, Bulwark Acceptor, so he sent me the picture. Hold up real quick. So I'm just like... I'm like,
this you and shit?
Yeah. So he like, hold, let me get the picture real quick. Get the picture. Hey, that's you. It's literally my picture from it. I'm looking at him like, nigga, you do goddamn.
It's a picture of me in the same spot.
I'm about to show you the picture he showed me though. He was like, that's you. I'm like, yeah, nigga, you know what you mean? Yeah, that's me. Yeah. He's like, yeah, no, my folks, he's like, yo, this the best podcast they fucking heard. I'm like, all right, cool. You know you hold up traffic. You got, because we right on like, yeah. But it's like, yeah, man, people, they come up to me, they hit me all day, they say all these little things, and it's just like, yeah, no, it's definitely rolling. And, you know, I always tell you that people think because somebody the other day basically asked me about what do I think is the biggest problem facing the podcast boom right now, especially in the city and around the city and just our culture in general. So shout out to her. It was a very good question.
Yeah.
And me and her started talking about it like in the joint. And I was like, the thing for me when it comes to like podcasting is, like Drake say, one, knowing yourself. One, knowing who you are and what you're capable of. You know what I'm saying? If you're not funny, don't try to be funny. If you don't know sports, don't talk sports. If you don't know street shit, don't talk street shit. Like, I could never do what Taxstone does.
Right.
I'm not about to shoot the club up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? On the flip side, though, Tax can't do what fucking
Drink Champs can do.
Scott Van Pelt can. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to know who you are. Now, with that being said, a lot of the podcasting shit that goes on, it's just people think they're more interesting than they really are.
Bingo.
And you know, for me, it's for people think it's a joke. I used to tell Chad this shit all the time. I used to tell you, like, I'm not interesting enough for a podcast. And it's like, no, you don't understand. You have a perspective and you know how to get off a story and tell a joke and be funny to where it's just you being yourself.
Right.
And again, that what I said, go back to knowing who you are to where it's like, oh yeah, okay. And then also, you just got to find your groove.
Yeah.
Like, you got to find a groove and understand, okay, we can do this, but we can't do that. And I've told Chad, I don't even like them shows where we go super left and super like just ghetto and that shit last week. That's because we're smart enough. We can do that. So why not do it?
Yeah.
Like, why do we have to have a nonsense filled 2 hours where we turn into, you know, no diss, but we turn into the baller alerts, the scoop hall. We don't have to do that. You know what I'm saying?
I think the biggest issue with people in podcasts is the same issue with the average artist in music. They're not properly produced. Like, people don't know. People don't have a format.
Yeah.
They don't know what to talk about. They don't know when they're talking too much or how to, what we do as far as like ping ponging off of each other and being able to transition through topics and make it all make sense.
Right.
And not to say that we're the standard by no means, because I listen to Joe Rogan every week, regardless of who's on there. I listen to Joe Budden podcast every week, and they don't even do guests.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's
Guilty
like,
Pleasure, one of my favorite podcasts is Stone Cold and fucking Brilliant Idiots. And I listen to them shits all the fucking time.
Yeah, so
I listen after I do ours, because Brilliant Idiots and us be like in the same
pocket with a lot of stuff. But it's like, it's like, you know, so it's like, you know, people need to know, should I do a 30-minute show versus a 60-minute show? Should I have guests? Should I not have guests? If I'm doing a podcast by myself, should I just do shorts like what TK Kirkland does, which are 7 to 15-minute shows, and I just come and record and knock out 3 months worth of shows in one day,
right.
And I just constantly just keep feeding people just enough content to make them come back.
That is a good point, because it's hard to keep people engaged for an extended period of time if you're not engaged.
Yo, you know something? I looked at our YouTube analytics. Our average watch time is like close to 40 minutes. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't exist on platforms like YouTube. And if I had the Apple analytics, I would probably gauge that.
I think Joe
It'd probably be
Budden's-
even more.
I think Joe Budden had a thing with Spotify where he was basically showing like, all right, my show is 3 hours long.
People listen to the last
for
hour.
2 hours and 50 minutes. Yeah. So it's like, that matters. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's the thing. It's like, if you can't keep somebody, like, remember we did our 4-hour show and I was like, I don't think we should do 4 hours. And
People came back and were like, yo, when we dropped the 2.5-hour show, and we're like, where's the rest of the show?
Yeah. And that's where it was just like, and I even listened to it like one day I was in the gym and I'm in the gym for like 2 hours and I was just like, damn, it flowed, it made total sense. So it's like, that's the thing. It's like knowing who you are, understanding who you are, and then being properly produced. And let's just keep it a buck. Knowing where you gonna go and what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna be a nonsense-filled John, cool. You have to understand. It's like Chingy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, Chingy knew he was gonna say, give me what you got for a pork chop. But I know when I say this, I ain't in the realm of nonsense.
I ain't in the lyrical, miracle, spiritual realm.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Give me what you got for the pork chop. But I know I'm not Wheezy. I'm not M. I'm not, you know what I'm saying?
That.
This ain't that. And that's really understanding. And for me, coming into it, when I finally did agree to do this, I was like, I don't want to be this. I want to be that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I want to be at the fucking the Black Caucus.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think the biggest impediment to our overall success is that, one, we're in Philadelphia. Bad things happen in Philadelphia. And then number two, we cover such a range of topics, and our show is so versatile. Even though it's listed as a comedy or whatever, and I think at first we were like art and culture or something, but initially was like our category. Like, we encompass so much that it's hard for us to be like nailed down to one topic. Like, a podcast that I think kind of like rivals ours that is very successful, Flip the Script podcast. Okay. They started off as kind of like interviewing whoever. Like, they would talk to anybody.
Right. And
then eventually they started taking like the true crime route and interviewing people around like these different crime figures throughout history from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. They just interviewed Dan Riley, who was an FBI agent in DC that arrested Wayne Perry and Alpo and like all of these guys. So it's like they have this true crime element to their show now, and their shit go crazy. You know what I'm saying? So where it's like they Patreon ring off. They got a setup on their Patreon where it's like you pay like $10 a month for the Patreon content, but then also you could just go in there and hit for $1 just to do a donation, and you don't get shit. And like their shit ring off because people are there for those true crime stories. And you know, for whatever reason, as a country, we have infatuation with like gangster shit, and people just want to know like who was there and what happened and why you shoot Butchie and all of that shit. And because they found like a singular focus, is pushed their show like far past where they anticipated on being. They just hit 200K subscribers on YouTube. Like they doing that shit.
And all it come down to like right place, right time. You know what I'm saying? The right moment, the right this, the right that. You end up with this interview or that show or whatever. And but me personally, I like seeing it. You know, that I was talking to her. I'm like, I like seeing all these different podcasts because it gives you something to do. Now, they're always like anything. There's going to be people who jump into a lane who don't really need to be in a lane. That's the streets. Carnivals, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
They were on the Joe Budden podcast this Saturday. They were like, "What happened to Murder Mook's podcast?" What was it called? Something about don't offend me or something to that effect. It was him and the boy Biscuit, the one that be doing the Uncle Biz shit, dressing up in the 90s attire. And they was like, "Yo, what happened?" I'm like, "Yo, what happened to Murder Mook?"
Shout out to Is Biscuit. He's a real good sport because I took his picture and I like went super viral. Like I was on Billboard TV and all that shit with that picture of him with the Magic jersey with all the old shit. And I was like, "This is me listening to 50 Cent and Ja Rule diss songs in 2019," and that shit wound up on like Billboard television, all this shit. And she was like, "Yeah, man, hilarious." And I was like, "Yeah," like it was, but it was his pick, and he wasn't like, "Man, what the fuck?" He was super cool about this shit.
Easily offended, by the way.
Easily offended. Yeah, easily offended. Yeah.
Shout out to
But like they was like doing good numbers. You know what I'm saying? They was hitting number one on the podcast charts and all of that shit. And that's a whole myth about the podcast charts. I'll get to that on another show.
That's a whole nother show.
Because we hit the podcast charts a bunch of times, but that shit is it's an algorithm.
It's lottery.
Yeah, it's literally
pulling balls
lottery.
out of a fucking cage.
What day do you release? What time do you release? How much initial traffic goes to your show? How many comments and how many ratings?
Dog.
That's the fucking chart. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That shit is literally like Joe Rogan won. Pull the rest of these motherfuckers out. That's how this shit is.
Exactly.
Seriously.
And what category you in matters also.
Yeah, very true.
How fast you can get up the fucking chart.
So, with the Kanye Joe Rogan podcast,
yes,
what were the highlights? Because I haven't watched it.
They covered. I'm 90 minutes in on 3 hours. They covered every topic in the history of man. Okay. And I'm just like, yo, how do we cover so much shit in 90 minutes? Like, he talks about like creationism, sustainable industry, farming, the fact that like he built a shoe factory in Cody, Wyoming, and that he can produce the foam runner in 25 minutes, and the staff that he hired, and Nike suing him over fucking designers, and what the fuck else is on here? There's literally 97 topics that they cover. The A word, he didn't want to say abortion, but the A word, religion, his presidential campaign, family, wealth, design, the music industry, status quo, and what he thinks needs to change about it. Disney and how they ruined the Star Wars franchise. Like, just like, Floyd Mayweather,
just rambling.
Floyd Mayweather being his hero. Like, it's just so much shit, and it's just like,
why is Floyd his hero?
Because he said Floyd is a phenomenal talent, and a lot of times as black talent, we're okay with just being that. But Floyd took his career into his own hands and said, I'm going to do the negotiation, I'm going to do the contract, I'm going to do the promotion, and I'm going to come up here and whoop ass. And like he said, it's a fearlessness that Floyd Mayweather has that people don't talk about, and how astute of a businessman he is, and the fact that he took his career to his own hands. And now he's made
I've
so
had
much
this
money
conversation with motherfuckers, and it's like, I understand when people say Ali is the greatest, because Ali hauled off and, was against the war,
Right.
didn't let the fact that he was heavyweight champ and making all that money stand in the way of
and
his
he fought
beliefs.
everybody in the universe.
But we got to face facts. Ali lost a lot of times.
Yes.
And Floyd just did shit that none of these other niggas did.
And that's why he created his own category.
Floyd
The best
has
ever.
19 championships across 5 different weight classes. There are 5 people on the planet who've won a belt in 5 different weight classes. It's Floyd, Pacquiao, Sugar Ray, Tommy Hearns, and De La Hoya. That's it. It's just not normal to win a belt. Like, you don't understand. Weight classes are you jumping up 10 to 15 pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, if you fighting at 140 and then haul off and fight at 154, that's a drastic change.
When you walk around at 135,
That's insanity. Like, when Roy Jones won the light heavyweight belt, it was like, what the fuck?
like Roy walk around at 175. Like, what's going on?
How the fuck did he want to, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's how rare it is. 5 people have done it in history. You just don't move up weight classes like that.
Yeah.
Floyd got 19 championships, 5 different weight classes. He single-handedly, think about this, he put HBO boxing in the dirt.
Yeah, it's
HBO boxing was the staple of boxing.
He left and it don't exist no more.
He straight put it in the dirt. Fuck you, Bob Arum.
Yeah.
I'm cool.
And he has his hands in PBC. And what's the other one? It was Premier Boxing Champions. And what's the fucking other one?
I know it too. It's right there on the top.
But him and
Al Heyman.
Him and Al Heyman have all that
Yeah,
shit.
they've done it.
They have the whole boxing industry.
Yeah, all
Like,
that.
and he has one of the 4 or 5 best young champions in the world under the stable right now.
Floyd literally showed you how to make $300 million in one night and then did it again.
Multiple times.
It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He really, when you look at Mayweather Promotions, what he did with Showtime, his initial deal with Showtime was 7 fights for $250 million. And he took that and then turned what was 24/7 into
All Access.
All Access. Genius. You know what I mean?
Gervonta's all access for whoever the Mexican fighter is. No disrespect to him, but is doing crazy numbers
Dog.
like on fucking YouTube and on terrestrial television.
The 5 highest pay-per-view nights of all time, I think Floyd has the top 4. And then I want to say it's Tyson and
Holyfield
2. Because that was the one where he bidding.
Yeah.
That one I think is number 5. But him and Pacquiao won. Him and De La Hoya. Him and Mosley. I think him and the white boy.
Hatton.
No, goofy white boy from UFC.
Oh, Connor.
That shit is fucking right. Like, it's insane. You know what I'm saying? I can look it up real quick.
Yeah, and they said that they was like they said that the live gate for him and Connor came in a little bit under expectation. They gave away a lot of tickets, but they was like the pay-per-view was through the fucking roof. It didn't matter. Yeah. It just didn't fucking matter. And Al Heyman, for those of you out there that don't know, Al Heyman was 100 million, 200 million rich in the 80s. And nobody talks about that. Like, Al Heyman did the Thriller tour. Like, Al Heyman was the #1 concert promoter in the world as a black man in the 80s. He did Budweiser Superfest. Like, that was Al Heyman shit. And this is who Floyd's fucking, business partner is.
You know those Al Heyman sons that be in the ring all the time?
Yeah.
Okay, so number 5 on the list is Evander and Tyson, too, like I've projected. Made 1.99 million buys, made 110 million from pay-per-view. Floyd and Canelo, that's what I was forgetting about. Floyd and Canelo had 2.2 million buys. Oscar De La Hoya and Floyd had 2.4 million buys. Floyd and Pacquiao had 4.4 million, and like I projected, Floyd and Conor, 6.7 million buys. It made 700 million from pay-per-view.
I would fight Connor every week.
I fight him every night. What you doing, white boy? I'm about to pull up for you.
Gonna get this shit popping in the parking lot.
6.7 million buys. That shit was $140. 7 million people bought that shit.
That's nuts, yo.
And it was like an extra $10 for HD. They was playing games.
$139.99 terrestrial, $149.99 HD.
$700 million
at this point, if you
from
have
pay-per-view.
At this point in life, if you have a television, which we all do, you have an HD television.
Yeah. Who doesn't have HD?
You either don't have television or you have an HD television.
It's crazy because just to go off subject a little bit, we talk about this shit all the time. The shit that we see black athletes do in this era, it just doesn't even make logical sense.
It's nothing to talk about. Like LeBron has $1 billion contract with Nike.
No one was doing these numbers. Not Muhammad Ali, not Sugar Ray, not Cassius Clay, not like not, you know what I'm saying? Like not Coming to America, but it's like, dog, none of them were doing these numbers. And for the ones who were doing outrageous numbers, the George Foremans, Ali's, Evanders, all these dudes, they were doing their numbers and not making the money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
They were making pennies.
Pennies.
Yeah, pennies on the dollar. It was like record contract. They were making pennies on the dollar.
One of the greatest interviews ever in life. Have any of y'all ever seen Don King on the Chris Rock show? You ever seen it?
Not recently. I've seen it probably 20 years ago.
If you watching or listening to this podcast, pause it and go find Don King on Chris Rock show. It's the funniest, because remember Chris Rock was on HBO, so he could really get busy.
Yeah.
And he had Don King on there, and Don King was like, everybody used to say Evander couldn't sell no fight. That was like his thing. Like, yeah, he's a great fighter. Evander got a belt in 4 different classes.
Yeah.
He moved up
and Evander was a fucking gold medalist, right?
He won a gold medal. He was a cruiserweight.
He was a cruiserweight,
I believe. And he moved up to heavyweight eventually. Cruiserweight, middleweight, light heavyweight, moved up to heavyweight. And Evander, super talented, got a crazy right hand, strong as a fucking ox, you know, could take a punch and nigga bit his ear off. And he kept fighting. You know, right. He's an animal. But he didn't have that shit where it's like he didn't have that draw that Tyson had, exactly. That, you know, these other Roy Jones, all these dudes. So Don King was like, the thing with Holyfield is he couldn't sell no fight, but then Holyfield got with me, and now you see he's making where he was making $2 million a fight, $3 million a fight. Now I'm with him and he's making $15 million a fight. So Chris Rock was like, yeah, he make 15. What you make? About 14 off of that? And he was like, no, see, this is the thing. He was like, Chris Rock, what do you actually do? He's like, I am the promoter. Where you can't have energy behind the fight, I create the energy in the fight. No, I don't fight, but the energy is created by me in the fight, which sells the fight so that the fighters can win in the fight. And Chris Rock's like, man, what the fuck are you talking about? But it's the truth. You could just see he was a fast-talking, slick-talking dude. And it's like, yeah, Mike Tyson made $400 million, but Don King ran off with like 300 of that. Yeah. So when you see Floyd do these outrageous numbers where he's making 300 million, then you see him with a plane and 19 Rolls Royces. It's like, yeah, it makes sense.
And all the money came home.
Like, you know what I'm saying? People literally was like, what the fuck? How much of a jackass asshole you got to be to buy an $18 million watch? And Floyd like, I made $350 last night. My fault. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm talking about.
5% of my purse.
Not only are these dudes exceptional talents on the field and on the court and in the ring, they're nuts outside. Like LeBron James, for him being, in my opinion, the best motherfucker to ever play basketball, he set up Rich Paul is like the guy.
To where people are sneak snitching on him.
People are like, people hate Rich Paul. Yes. Dead ass. When y'all saw the NBA shut down and they had 9 players in the league who had got paid all of their money already, and 7 of them were signed to Rich Paul, and everybody just like, man, we got bubble guy, we gotta do something, we gotta get paid. And niggas is doing donuts talking about Palm Angels down in my sock, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you see these dudes like LeBron, like Russell Wilson, like Floyd, like
Steph Curry,
who's created a fucking crazy ass situation with Under Armour and everything else. It's nuts because the guys from before, and it's not a knock to them, but they were steel mill workers who would come in and throw up some hook shots. You know what I'm saying? That's what they was. So when you see
had to deliver the milk in the morning,
niggas is legitimately set themselves up to where, you know, like on the Nike campus, they have like buildings with LeBron James' name on them already. That nigga's still playing. It's crazy.
He got 6, 7, 8 years left.
Dog, it's insane. So it's like, yeah, we were talking about it yesterday with the the DK Metcalf catch. Not the catch, but the chase down.
Chase down, yeah.
And it's just like, these dudes are freaks.
Did you see Buddha Baker's tweet? He said DK hawk my ass down, man. Respect.
I ain't even see it. Dog.
It's just an insane play, man. Like, and it's like you was explaining. You like, yo, T.O., Chad Ochocinco were prepping for weeks, for months. I'm gonna get on this treadmill. They gonna have Big Dan gonna have a camera set up. I'm running 25 miles an hour today. I'm hitting top speed on this motherfucker. That was on a broken play that got intercepted, and he
like,
chased down
you're
a
going
nigga
this
at 22
way
miles an hour.
trying to get a catch, and you turn around like, oh shit, interception. And he got up to 23 miles an hour with a helmet and pads on. They said, dog. If any of y'all know what we talking about, last night the Seahawks were playing the Cardinals.
Yo,
Great game.
Shout out to them, man.
Great game.
I watched the whole third, fourth, and overtime.
The game was nuts. I'm sure you watched it.
Back and forth.
The game was insane. There was a play where Russell Wilson went to throw a pass, and it was intercepted by Buddha Baker. He takes off from the 5-yard line,
like the 4 or the 5,
on a straightaway stretch. DK Metcalf was towards the middle of the fucking field at the goal line, and turned around and hawked him. They said that in that play, Buddha Baker ran 90 yards and DK Metcalf ran 118, and he caught up to him. And when you watch it, it doesn't make sense because Buddha Baker is what? 5'10",
yeah, like 5'10",
180 pounds,
180, 190.
DK Metcalf is 6'4", 230. He looks like like an actual Megatron, and he just it just looks insane the way he parted the field and just came through everything.
Yeah, that's one of the craziest football plays I've ever seen in my life.
And I had this conversation with Jules last night. You know, like, pick sixes don't just happen in football. Right. And my one homie who was texting me was like, yeah, I mean, pick sixes ain't like a thing, but niggas be getting them a lot. I'm like, no, they don't, fam. I'm like, Deion Sanders is in the Hall of Fame for getting pick sixes and doing the trot into the end zone. You know how many pick sixes Deion got in his career?
Probably like 8 or 9.
9.
Yeah.
Like, them Jones just don't happen. DK Metcalf straight took a pick six away from a nigga. Like, think about if those Deion Sanders and Rod Woodsons and all of them had to play with receivers who were that insanely fast to where when Deion did get the pick six, holla back.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody catch you. You think Chris Carter about to come catch me? You know what I'm saying?
Chris Carter just smoked 14 Newports on the sideline. He ain't coming to get nobody.
Like, think about this. Deion Sanders, and I think Deion Sanders had, like, one of the craziest 40s ever.
Like a 4.2, like sub 4.2, like a 4.1.
He had like it was some crazy shit around, because it's not registered as the fastest.
Exactly.
Because it was like some scrutiny shit. It's like a whole story behind it. I think the fastest one ever is Chris Johnson. Had like a 4.22.
Yeah, Deion, the legend of his 40 is that he ran sub 4.2.
Yeah. But it's not official.
4.33.
Say it again?
4.33.
So that's the official
for
time.
The 40.
That's his official 40.
Yeah.
But he has a story where he ran under that once, but it's not the official joint.
Yeah.
But my thing is, DK Metcalf runs a fucking 4.3.
Yeah.
And he's 50 pounds heavier than Deion. It's just that. The new athletes are just insane.
Yeah, it's nothing you can do, man.
It's nuts.
Did you see Hakeem jumped out there with his Jordan proclamation?
Yo, we can knock our sports shit out right now.
And somebody else had a crazy joint. Jamal Murray. I hate it had to be him. He said that Jordan was far superior to LeBron. And I'm like, the LeBron that just shut you down for 3 games?
In his 17th year.
In his 17th year as a stretch 4/point guard?
Niggas saying anything, man. Anything. Like, I like Akeem. Is it Akeem or Hakeem?
Both.
Okay.
It was both.
Whatever you want to do
when
for
he came in the league, he was Akeem, and then he added the H.
Okay. So I like Akeem. I do. I think he's one of the best centers ever.
For sure.
Absolutely ridiculously skilled. Do I think he's the best center ever? No.
No.
I think Shaquille O'Neal is way better. I think
Kareem is better.
Kareem, of course, has to go up there.
Wilt.
If you want to put Wilt up there. And then Akeem is probably right there. It's Bill Russell, Akeem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's better than Patrick Ewing and all of them. You know what I'm saying? But like you talk about all the time, you have to put Jordan on this pedestal if you played in that era, because if you don't, it invalidates you and everything that went on. So Charles Barkley has to forever say Michael Jordan is the greatest
MVP of the
ever.
league. Mike took a championship from me directly and then indirectly me drinking Hennessy and 40s took a couple more. It's like, yo, the difference, the fundamental difference, and my sales manager, Seth Frankel, when I used to work for Enterprise Fleet, used to say this all the time. The difference between Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Tiger Woods is that they not only work on the shit that they're good at, they work on the shit that they're bad at. And they work just as hard on every aspect of their game because they want to be the best.
Right.
And the difference between them and everybody else is that other guys may be physically gifted, they may be smart, they may have good basketball IQ or good sports IQ. If they play a different sport, they don't work harder than these motherfuckers. No. And that's the difference.
And I think it's just like a testament to LeBron that this is the only argument now.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. LeBron literally could... He built Zori a house. Did you see that?
Yeah,
the little house out back? I seen people in the comments like, yeah, but Jordan went 6-0 in the finals. and it's just like, what, man? Like, this is like, it threatens people that much.
Yeah.
And that's where LeBron is. He's gotten past everything. That's the only thing left.
Yeah.
Is it him or Jordan?
We're tied to nostalgia, man. And, just as a people. And for whatever reason, it's like, yo, in every single aspect of life, it evolves. Except for 90s basketball. It just stopped.
Everything
It
is
stopped
sports.
at 98.
That's it. That's when it stopped.
It ain't the Spurs won the championship 99 for whatever reason. That was a lockout short season. It ain't no asterisks on they shit and all of this. But Pat Riley wants to put an asterisk on the bubble championship where y'all went against every opponent you went against. Their star was out of the series or missed significant time, but just because y'all were missing Goran Dragic and Bam for 2 games, we supposed to put an asterisk on the championship.
Very interesting point brought to me by Nick Wright. Shout out Nick Wright because I fucks with Nick Wright.
Nick Wright's been making hella sense lately.
Nick Wright said, and when you really think about it, it makes total sense. The biggest lead that the Lakers had in any time during this finals was Game 6 when they blew out the Heat and ended it.
Yeah.
You know when the second biggest lead was? Game 1 when Bam and Gordon Dragic was on the court.
Yeah.
He was like, they was up 32. And Bam and Goran Dragic was on the floor. So we ain't doing that. The same way you can't put no asterisk for the Warriors championship in 15 when Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love got hurt and the Cavs was up 2-1. The same way you ain't putting no asterisk on the Warriors championship when Kawhi Leonard got hurt because of the fucking play with
Zaza put cheap shot.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and let's talk about it. The Spurs was up 20 points in that game and they lost that game.
Yeah.
That was game 1. The Spurs was up 20 and lost that game when Kawhi went out. And he was done and the Warriors. The same way we ain't putting no asterisk on that, we ain't doing it for that over there. Yeah. We just not. You know what I'm saying? Skip sits around and talks about, oh, they were crazy outmatched and did it. Do you know who the three-peat Lakers played in the championship for the third championship in the three-peat? Keith Van Horn and Kerry Kittles. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can't do that. You made the championship. You deserve the right to be here.
You play who the fuck you play, man.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, you deserve that right to be here. That's what it is. That's the championship. That's the way sports works.
Yeah.
The favorite don't always win. You know how I know? It's a lot of slips laying on the floor at the casino for motherfuckers who didn't win, taking the. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the way it go. So it's like, yo, you put the work in, and you're straight like.
Somebody doing construction?
Yeah, it is getting weird out there. What's happening?
It's like a lot of noise.
You'll big up Jimmy Butler, but then tear down LeBron on the flip side again, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. So I hate that shit. Like the same way we love Allen Iverson for his fucking heroics in Game 1 of the 0-1 finals.
Yeah.
Can't get mad on the flip side when the Lakers sweep them the next 4 games.
Yeah, they were supposed to.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They were supposed to. They handled business. They did what the fuck they were supposed to do. So, yeah, that asterisk and all that goofy shit, it's just annoying.
It's just tacky and it's sour grapes from somebody that has won as much as Pat Riley. You've won through eras. You've won as an executive now, as a coach. Like, did he win a championship as a player, too? As like
might have.
I think he might have won one or some shit.
Might have.
As a player. It's like, yo, it's super duper sour grapes from like a basketball.
That shellac is leaking into his fucking brain.
It's like, yo, from a basketball lifer. And y'all got lucky. Like, y'all got lucky. And guess what? If Kyrie and Kevin Durant come back next year and they 85%, they're going to sleepwalk to the finals. And they're going to kill y'all if y'all just so happen to come across them. Like, so, and they're trying to add fucking Paul George potentially to the Nets, they said.
I don't like that.
They said they were going to give up like Dinwiddie and...
They have to move LeVert.
Yeah, Dinwiddie LeVert and the center young bull with the afro.
Oh yeah, Pat Riley was on a team with Jerry West and Wilt.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, so you're a basketball lifer. 50 years in the fucking game, and you bitter about a championship that nobody picked you to go to. Come on, Unc.
Damn.
In a neutral ground in the state of Florida, and you salty because we were missing Goran Dragic like it was going to matter against fucking LeBron and AD.
Pat Riley got a lot of championships,
Hell
man.
yeah.
He has a championship as a player in 72. He has a championship as an assistant coach in 80. He has 5 as a head coach, 82, 85, 87, 88, 2006 as the Heat coach. Then he has 2 as an executive for 12 and 13.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Pat Riley trademarked the term back-to-back.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of back-to-backs in this joint. Yeah.
Like, Pat Riley is the nigga. Like, he the guy. Why are you acting like this, Unc?
Damn.
No way he thought that Jimmy and them, because that's who played the Lakers in the final. There's no way you thought Jimmy and them was going to beat LeBron and AD.
Duncan Robinson said that the Lakers bench kept calling him Jimmy Newsom. Jimmy Neutron. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, man? Yeah, but I don't like that asterisk shit. I don't like that.
It was just corny. It's sour grapes.
It's
corny.
Listen, you won fair and square. You won. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand why we have to do that. Versus
Bike
Versus,
to match
man.
the stain. Versus season 2, baby. November 19th. T.I., his dictionary and his thesaurus pulling up against Jeezy the Snowman.
I saw some of your tweets, and we're on opposite ends of this.
Oh, that's
yeah.
that's
We're on opposite ends of this. I hate verses. Let's just, but from jump. Once again, I do hate verses. So naturally, T.I., I think Jeezy actually said it first the other day. Like, what's a king without a crown or some shit like that? And of course, Twitter went off like, oh shit, Jeezy versus T.I. And my initial thought is T.I.'s gonna win. I just don't know the number. Like, I can't put a pinpoint a joint. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I saw everybody start going into Jeezy got mixtapes and Jeezy got street. He had the streets on Smash, and I'm like, yeah, but you got to play 20 rap songs. You know what I'm saying? And your 20 rap songs got to be better than this guy's 20 rap songs. And in a battle, I don't, me personally, I don't see it.
Here's my thought process. I'm on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, and I think this is Jada versus Fab Part 2. I think that T.I.'s records have aged poorly, and he made the biggest records he could for the time, and nobody gives a fuck about none of them records now. I'm talking about his pop records. His street records, we still go back and listen to.
I'm about this
ASAP, You Don't Know Me, shit like that. What you know about that? We go back and listen to those records. But Live Your Life and
Live Your Life is a staple of pop culture.
Live Your Life and Blurred Lines.
I don't really care about Blurred Lines.
Like, it don't sound the same when a nigga is like, I used to hit the kitchen light. Like, it's a different type of feeling that you get. In the same way Fab was trying to get them poppy girl records off against Jada, and niggas was like, this ain't it?
Yeah, but
it's the same thing for me because Jeezy is a god of that kind of shit.
But T.I. was the best rapper on the planet for his run. And he has the records.
He was never the best rapper on the planet. Lil Wayne existed.
From 03 to 07, like Wayne.
Wayne existed.
Wayne caught fire in
Wayne
06.
existed.
But T.I. was like king of the South. And no one had no rap
came
for
out
that.
in 04.
Yeah, but
he never was better than
Urban
Wayne.
Legend was a better album. And
wasn't better than the Carter 2 came out in 05.
Carter 2
he was never better than Wayne. Like, can we please not play?
I'm not debating that he was a better.
He was never better than
Wayne's my guy. You know that.
He was never
but
better than
T.I.
Wayne.
was the king of the South. And he made that staple and nobody had no rap for him. And outside of Luda, I don't remember T.I. getting out rapped on much. You know what I'm saying? I will not lie though. Wayne out rapped him on Soldier. But T.I. Soldier verse is fucking phenomenal.
No, they was
when you look at
A and A+.
T.I.'s features, were you talking about Never Scared, Round Here, what's the other John? What's the Kanye Drive Slow and all that? Like, he just has so many joints that he can go into. Then he has the Rubber Band Mans, 24s, You Don't Know Me's, the ASAPs, the big shit poppins. He just has a lot of joints. So I'm just like, when it come down to it, it's like he play You Don't Know Me Jeezy got to play a better rap song than that.
Yeah.
When he play Big Shit Poppin', he got to play a better rap song than that. When he hauls off and plays What You Know About That and all of them records, like, dog, what up? What's happening? Like, he got all of those, and it's like, you really have to start playing rap joints. And it's like, yo, those street mixtape joints, like if Weezy does a mixtape, a 20-song battle with somebody, Weezy's not gonna be able to pull off the freestyles and shit. You gotta play songs, you know what I'm saying? Now get it fucked up, Wayne.
That what's the name? That upgrades you, and that
Mike
Jones Sky is the limit.
I don't even think he would play them, though.
He don't have to, because he got 150 billboards.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, I don't even see him playing those joints. But it's like, I keep it a buck with you. If they go into this battle, like how you said before with Nelly and Luda, and Jeezy start playing the wrong shit, it's like,
I think that Jeezy,
like, what if let me ask you this, they go into the battle and Jeezy don't play no mixtape shit?
He still got 2 of the best rap albums in the last 10 years.
He does. But T.I. has those albums. You know what's funny? You know what made me go look up the other day? So I found this post from my Facebook.
I think it's close. I think it's 12, 8, 11, 9 either way. But I just think Jeezy gonna control the
from my
tempo.
Facebook, November 5th. 2008. I remember making this post because I was home for the Phillies World Series and Obama and shit. And I did the top 5 albums of 2008. And this post went viral for its day. You know what I'm saying? Facebook times. You know what I'm saying? 2008. You got 70 comments on something that's viral. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I said the top 5 albums of 2008. Rick Ross Triller, number 5. Number 4, Recession. Number 3, Lil Wayne the Carter 3. Number 2, T.I.'s Paper Trail. And number 1, 808s and Heartbreaks. Everybody was on the post mad. Like, how the fuck you got Kanye over T.I.? T.I. on the best shit. I'm like, and I remember that. Like, when Paper Trail came out, it was insane. I got that album in Laredo, Texas in the yard. Mind you, this was 08. I got that album in Laredo, Texas. Nigga was selling CDs. I drove from Laredo, Texas to Compton, California, Compton up to Spokane, Washington to Allentown. I listened. I know every word to that. I remember that shit. That Paper Trail hit, I'm illy, 56 bars, what up, what's happening,
Excellent
swing your
album.
rag, dead and gone. He got Swagger Like Us. Was like, it's just...
Swagger Like Us, I hate to say it, it's noise now.
Oh, now it is. But I'm talking about at the time.
But that's my point, is that them records don't ring off no more. Like, they was huge for the time. Like, he pigeonholed himself into making the biggest records of the time period as opposed to making timeless records.
So let me ask you this. Do you feel like trajectory as far as you as a person matters when it comes to your music? Because me and Rod had this conversation the other day, so this is why I asked this. Beanie Siegel's first album, right? The Truth.
Classic.
We all remember The Truth. Mac and Brad, you know, just crazy cuts on that joint. Kanye produced shit on it. He did the actual Truth song, you know what I'm saying? When that album came out, The Source gave it 4.5 mics, which was nuts, because motherfuckers, I think it was like only 7 or 8 albums at the time that had a 5 mic rating and shit. They compared him to Ice Cube and Snoop Dogg in the joint. And it was like, no, this nigga's like the next bull.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because you look back and that's the way everybody kind of wants you to remember with revisionist history, Reasonable Doubt. And it wasn't that. When Reasonable Doubt dropped, no one cared.
No, nobody cared.
Jay-Z says it out of his own mouth. Y'all, nobody fucked with this joint. You know what I'm saying?
I'm literally like one of the only people that bought it the first week it came
You know what's
out.
crazy? A lot of people be saying that. And it'd be like, dog, I really remember Rob was like...
Yeah, I went to Sounds of Upper Darby.
Because it was written...
$23.
It was written, came out the next Tuesday. And that was all I cared about. Yeah, I'm a Nas fan.
Yeah.
So I was just like... I don't know what that is.
You know what came out the same. This how I remember it. This week that Jay came out, it was between Reasonable Doubt and I think like the How High soundtrack. The High School High soundtrack.
Okay. How High was like 02.
Yeah, High School High soundtrack.
AT Aliens came out around that time. Like, it was just a lot of that was the good days where it was 9 albums dropping every Tuesday and shit. But it's
Jay-Z
like
stole a #1 from Outkast too, but that's another story for another day.
But like,
Def Jam bought them units.
No one cared. No, I'm sorry. AT Aliens was when Black Volume 2 came out. No one really cared about Reasonable Doubt. But revisionist history will have you believe that when Jay dropped, it shut everything down. It was like, oh, Jay is the guy. But that's where it's like Jay became Jay. So now we look at all of this shit in like a different light where Beans became Beans. And it's like, oh yeah, the truth was just, that shit was hot. And it's like, no, the truth was really the truth.
It was the shit.
Like,
and I've listened to the truth in recent years, like in the last 3-4 years. It's still excellent.
And I feel like a little bit of the like T.I. songs not ringing off and people not caring is his hair never waved up. You know what I'm saying?
He married to Miss Piggy.
The shit with Tiny, the shit with his daughter, with the going to the fucking
he's
gynecologist.
ridiculous.
He's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
ridiculous.
He's ridiculous. So his overusage of big words, all of it has just turned people to where they just like.
And you know what's crazy?
But not to cut you off, but what I was saying was, and this is why I would say, for that time period, T.I. was the biggest nigga out.
He was a nigga.
Because his music, like T.I.'s in movies with Idris Elba and Denzel Washington. Like, he was a fucking international star with his music as a base. Yeah. The same with Ludacris, the same with 50 Cent. You know, it's just what it is. So it's like, the same way people don't really care for 50 Cent songs now. We can't ignore that when Many Men dropped and Wanksta dropped, that nobody wanted no trouble. And I just, for myself, I remember T.I. saying, I'm the king of the South, and y'all deal with that shit. And nobody, and I do mean nobody, was like, nah, fuck out of here, to the point where it was like some real life shit. So it's like, you look at T.I. drops trap music, which people completely forget all about.
That's my favorite T.I. album.
It's up there because I love Doing My Job and Let's Get Away and what's the other joint? Rubber Band Man, Be Easy was on there. Trap music was nuts. Then you come right back with Urban Legend, and Urban Legend goes 2-3 million sold. Then you come right back with King, and King was like his magnum opus for the like the big records, the club records, the street records, and everybody just was like, oh no, T.I.'s really like the bull. Yeah. Then Paper Trail hit, and it was like, for me, a lot of times in music, when niggas do hit their magnum opus, the next album is normally like they're caught up in the fucking the blurry haze of Cristal and prostitutes.
It's like Championship Hangover.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you look at for Drake to come back off of Take Care with Nothing Was the Same is like, wow. For Wayne to come back off of the Carter 2 with the Carter 3 is like, wow. For
the Carter 3 to get leaked 5 times and you still
see what I'm saying? For DMX to come back off of his Dark and Hell Is Hot with Flesh of My Flesh in the same year is like, oh shit. For Jay-Z to come off of Volume 2 with Volume 3 and then come off of Volume 3 with Dynasty, and then it's just, that shit is different. So when he hit with Paper Trail, it was like, damn, like this nigga's really rapping and killing every fucking thing. So my thing with Jeezy is like TM 101. If you were there and in it, you remember it and you love it. But there's a lot of people who really don't look at that album the same way as a lot of other people. I personally like the album. It had to grow on me because the thing with Jeezy was I grew up on Nas and Eric B. and Rakim and fucking
you had
Ice
to
Cube.
retrain your ear to hear Jeezy.
It was just hard for me to like, Jeezy love to put and Hammer in his coke. It's like, man, I fucking work at the airport and this shit ain't no fucking amazing lyricism. So it's just like, but then like Jeezy actually talked about this in the interview, going in to do the Boys in the Hood song. And he was like, Jeezy like, I know I can't out rap Jody Breeze. I know these niggas is better rappers. So he was like, he did his verse and he was like chopping and piecing and putting ad-libs, and he's like, everybody like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like almost like annoyed. But he was like, when we finally was done that shit and I hit play and that shit, if it's taking too long to lock up, bring it back. He learned his sound. Go back to what we were saying, knowing yourself.
Yeah.
Jeezy I can't out-rap T.I. Right. I can't out-rap Lil Wayne, but I can say, yeah, and the shit is hot.
Jeezy got so hot that Kanye put his ad-libs on fucking...
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's like you look at it like, I love the fact that they're both Atlanta. They're both phenomenal artists.
Makes sense. They're direct parallels there with their careers.
My thing is, like I told my homie, the only thing that has me feeling like T.I. might lose is the fact that his dumb ass been looking for any battle he could find. And it's, again, he's ridiculous. So it's like, you know what I mean? But when I just look at 20 songs from each artist, I just think T.I. just is a better rapper, better produced. You know, him and Toomp made fucking magic. Of course, Toomp went over there and fucked with Jeezy for a little bit. They did. I love it.
Jeezy and Shorty Red.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's just like, if I have to pick one, I'd probably take T.I. records.
I'm going with Jeezy. And what's crazy to me, what I was going to say, the interesting part of it to me is that Jeezy had the worst fall off as far as like quality of material. Like Jeezy is damn near unlistenable to like these last like 3 out of these last like 4 projects. You can't even hear them.
I think the Recession is. You get mad at me. I think that's his best album.
It is.
And
it's Recession and then it's 101.
And that be my joint. Like when I look at the Recession for being his best album, and it ain't better than Paper Trail. And I don't think Paper Trail's T.I. best album. So it's just like. That's where I like sit back sometimes, and I'm just like, because I saw that argument flying around on Twitter the other day, like albums and who had the bigger impact off the gate, and it's just like, of course Jeezy had. Yeah, the fuck, you came in, Meech was in the video. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, T.I. was, I'm in the boot coupe, it's damn near clear. Like T.I. was on goofy shit when he first came out.
Man in his first shit.
Of course, Jeezy had the
polo gear that dropped the next year. Who cares? Who cares, cuz?
Of course, Jeezy had the
when I went to
biggest
Park
impact.
Atlanta, I used to see T.I. like every day. He used to be on campus. He used to, him and Shaq was cool somehow. Shaq been living in Atlanta. Only person been living in Atlanta longer than Shaq is Too Short. But
What's Shaq?
Shaquille
O'Neal.
Yeah,
fuck Shaquille O'Neal right now.
Yeah, Shaquille O'Neal's a fucking goofy. He the police and he's a hater.
Yeah, Shaq is weird.
He's super strange. But I used to see T.I. like, he was just a guy.
Okay.
Like, he used to drive Shaq cars and shit. He just used to be around. And then that nigga popped the fuck off. That trap music came out, that nigga popped the fuck off, and I was like, oh yeah, he got something.
And it's just like, I get it. Like, when motherfuckers like, oh, Jeezy had the streets and this, that, and the third, and I just be like, fuck, man, listen. I can remember that Rubber Band Man shit. That shit was playing every fucking
it was
where.
but again, I just think it didn't age well. Like, I don't think people here for Rubber Band Man in 2020, yo. Like, I just don't.
I don't think they care for T.I.
Well, yeah, but that's what I was going to say. It's like
if T.I. dies tonight, Rubber Band Man's going to be in the top 10.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. So I think that Jeezy had a more critical fall off as far as like his peak.
They both had
to
terrible
his floor,
fall offs.
but for whatever reason, because he had the streets, people still revere Jeezy. They like overlook his bad albums.
But let's keep it a beam. Motherfuckers was sick of Jeezy nonsense a year
when he
ago.
did the Pastor Young shit, niggas was over his shit, yo.
And even in the last couple months, him with the Asian lady, you know what I'm saying? It's like people really be like upset with Jeezy a lot of times. And
they feel like he their uncle or their cousin or something.
And then I see this situation and everybody flips and was like, oh, Jeezy the God. And it's just like, y'all hated Jeezy 8 months ago.
I think Jeezy got like 10 Jay-Z records, first and foremost. Jeezy got a sneaky Drake verse that motherfuckers forgot about with the joint with Andre, the joint I Do, and the joint with he got a joint with Andre 3000. So I just googled Jeezy best song, Soul Survivor with Akon, classic.
That's a win.
And then what with Manny Fresh?
That's not a win.
It's not a clear win.
Because T.I. could play Big Shit Poppin'.
I love it. We count hundreds on the table.
I love it as a win.
That's a big record. Go Get It with R. Kelly.
No, can't play it.
Go Crazy.
He play that, he loses.
Go Crazy. And
first one to play a record with R. Kelly loses.
Go Crazy and the Go Crazy remix with Jay.
Go Crazy is a win.
That's a win. Love in This Club with Usher.
I don't think he plays it. Not in the battle. I don't think he plays it. That's one of my favorite songs.
My President Is Black. That's a win.
That's a win. It has to be.
Put On with Kanye. That's a win.
That's a win.
Trapper Die. That's a win.
Depending on what T.I. play.
It's All There with Bankroll Fresh.
Because he could do Doing My Job, and that's a...
It might be a push.
Yeah.
It's All There with Bankroll Fresh. To me, that's a win. Dope Boy.
Yeah.
That shit rung off.
But my thing is, like, you do that, and then T.I. does... I don't know. Because I'm not looking at anything. T.I. does Never Scared. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they gonna fight. They gonna battle. Jeezy, who that? They say who that? Nigga, we that. That's a win. Today's a trade day, so I guess I'm trying to 3 that.
It's one of my favorite joints off of Recession.
Yeah,
but T.I. got, he got records.
Jeezy, welcome back. Welcome back.
Not playing that in the battle.
My Hood.
My Hood might play in the battle.
What else?
I feel like what's the joint from TM 101 with Buck and Trick Daddy?
Stand Up.
No, that's with Wayne. And
that was one.
That's T.I. song. A great T.I. record, by the way. From TM 101 with Trick Daddy and Young Buck.
If you're real like me, hands in the air for the whole wide world.
Last of a Dying Breed.
Last of a Dying Breed.
Like shit like that, yeah.
Lose My Mind with 2 Chainz.
Nah, 2 Chainz ain't on that record. Plies.
Plies is on Lose My Mind.
Plies had the best verse.
Crazy record.
Plies could play in the battle.
Plies could get about 12 off.
Plies, that was the drummer he where the pill man at? I need a blue dog. Yeah.
Plies got about 12.
Oh, broke ass nigga, stop cock block.
Plies got about 12, 15 joints, man. Stop
Guess
playing
what
with
my
Plies.
mama say? She hate my partners.
But Plies has the same problem as T.I. He's ridiculous. So nobody's not trying to hear that shit.
Plies got so many funny ass verses. It's not even funny.
Get Your Mind Right from TM101. That's a good joint. Trap Star, where he played where he spelled
Trap Star is
wrong.
one of my favorite joints. I like Trap Star.
He spelled S-T-R.
Yeah, what the f? That's not a win. Never mind. I never paid attention. This nigga spelled Trap Star wrong. Shut the fuck up. Why did I never pay attention to that? I'm a TRAPSTR. Hey, man.
And seen it all with Jay.
Never fucking paid attention to it.
I was like, I'm trying to get with you. Yeah, he spelled.
I'm trying to say like R, but that'll make it stare.
Yeah, Trapster. I'm a Trapster. Yeah, he spelled that joint wrong.
I never paid attention to
that. But seen it all with Jay.
Shit.
Seen it all with Jay, and
Seen It All was great.
Seen It All was great. And I'm so your man John. I'm so HOOOD right around this goddamn money on me.
The remix, right?
Jeezy got joints, man. So they gonna fight. I think it's 12-8 one way or another. 12-8, 11-9 one way or another. I'm going with Young, yo. I'm going with Young. I think he got the more impactful, longer lasting records. T.I. has the bigger career as far as peak and all that shit, selling 5-6 million and all that shit. But Jeezy had the streets, man. I think he gonna set the tone.
I honestly, looking at, I don't even think T.I. has to play some of them goofy ass records. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even think T.I. has to play like the Whatever You Likes and shit like that.
If he play Whatever You Like, that's a minus.
Yeah, it's funny though, because it's like this.
If he play Whatever You Like or Blurred Lines, that's a minus.
This is what I'm saying when I talk about like impact. So it's like my dad wasn't like a you know, my dad don't really get down with super rap. He an older man, but it's like. He wasn't really banging no Jeezy and shit like that. Right. But I can vividly remember one day we was in the car, me, him, and my stepmom, and they listened to gospel music. And they was coming to church, whatever. And she got out the car, going to the store, and I went in the store. He was in the car by himself. And I came back, opened the door, and he was listening to T.I. The Whatever You Lie, that shit. And then she came up and was like, we fall down. Like, he cut that shit on real quick. Just like, nigga was sneaking to listen
Whatever
to
You Like.
T.I.
Whatever You Like was the auntie anthem.
Yo. Good times, man.
Yeah, it was all type of ridiculous videos on Facebook. Old ladies singing Whatever You Like.
Like, I feel like it's gonna be a good battle.
It's gonna be a good battle.
Better than him and Busta Rhymes, because I mean personally think Busta Rhymes would have power washed him.
Yo, Busta
Rhymes has 40 years worth of music.
Yeah, they jumped online together on live, and Busta and T.I. said. Apparently, they have a really good relationship. I had no idea. They're really close. They're really close friends. And T.I. said the contingency is, he said, nigga, you've been around since 1987 with LL. I can't compete with that first 20 years of your records. He said, but if you agree to only play stuff from 2001 to now, I'll battle you and Jeezy the same night, and I won't play the same song twice. And I'm like, well, where the fuck is T.I. getting his other 20 records from? Is what I was wondering. I'm like, where are you getting 20? Like, he can't play nothing from T.I. versus T.I.P. except Bitch Shake Pop, and that album is terrible. Album's hard. He let Wyclef tricked him into getting executive producer points on that joint. That shit is.
I honestly have forgot just like how many features T.I. had. T.I. had a very, very extensive feature career. Yeah. I really didn't pay attention to that. If T.I. didn't
go to jail every year, he would be he'd be top 5 easy.
Shoulder Lean, Never Scared, My Love with Justin Timberlake, Fancy on Drake's album, Blurred Lines, We Taking Over with DJ. I forgot all about T.I.
I forgot he was on We Taking Over.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a Flirt with R. Kelly, Can't Play It 'Cause You Lose. You know what I'm saying? Soldier with Destiny's Child, Hello Good Morning with Diddy. And I really forgot T.I.'s like, his feature shit is nuts. So it's like, it's going to be a good battle. it really just boils down to what you like, and that's kind of where I've gotten with these things.
Yeah.
It's like whatever you like is where I like, you know, he yelled at me when I said ludicrous. You know what I'm saying?
And I bit the bullet, and I came in here and said, I even named the episode "Let Chad Down."
But it goes to what you like, and you know, people will be like, "Oh man, you and your mom never hit a brick," and it's just like, bro, it's like it don't gotta be that. This is music, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I had to explain that shit to yesterday on Twitter. I'm just like, yo, like, you know, motherfucker was like, man, somebody was like, Jeezy really got BMF ties, like Tip can't fuck with him, and it's probably, bro, they playing rap records. You know what I'm saying?
You know, Big Meech is still locked up,
like,
right?
T.I. gonna play You Don't Know Me, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You gonna make me bring the Chevy to a real slow creep. My niggas hanging out the window, mouth full of gold teeth. When the guns start popping, when the wind is gonna cease. Chopper hit you in your side and create a slowly. Jeezy can't be like, man, I know Meech. Oh, Jeezy 110. It's just like, no, you gotta play rap records. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it really, like I said, it boiled down to what you like. And I ain't gonna hold you. This is one I'm gonna actually watch.
I'm watching this.
I'm definitely watching this.
I'm watching.
You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely gonna watch this and be into it. And you know, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for T.I.
I'm rooting for Jeezy.
I feel like it's gonna be a narrow win because I do feel like Jeezy got 7 or 8 solid victories. The same way I do feel like T.I. Like he got a solid victory in these records, and it's gonna come down to the placement and the minutia around it. Like, when does this go after that, and does this go? And you know,
the cheat code to the verses so far has been, do you have a Jay record with him talking some street shit? Because that's a win every time. And do you have a Drake record? And who got the better Drake records? Like, Ross and 2 Chainz was going at it, but Ross had the better Drake records.
For the production, Jones is who's recorded with Beyonce. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's normally when that shuts it down. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know,
Beyonce and Aaliyah.
We'll see what happens. Justin LaBoy. When did Justin LaBoy become? Is it Justin L.A. Boy or
Justin LaBoy?
Okay, it is LaBoy. When did he become like the gold standard for
The king of Instagram?
Nonsense on Instagram? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, somehow, some way, that hashtag just like became its own thing. And
What
it
hashtag?
Respectfully.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so it was like the hash. It was that, and then the Demon Time shit on his lives during the quarantine.
Okay.
He kept getting his pages deleted. Then I guess he just finally decided, man, fuck this. I'm gonna just do content for like Instagram, and that's literally he got like 5 pages that are all like just tweets and shit that he took off Twitter. They're not even his tweets, but it's like a tweet he took, didn't credit the author, and then just put a caption or whatever, expounding on the shit, and then it just go every fucking time. And him and Casfax been on, in case y'all don't pay attention, him and Casfax been on Twitter trying to out-scenario each other, and Instagram trying to out-scenario each other the whole fucking quarantine. But like, they be taking shots.
The Casfax nigga is funny.
He's hilarious.
That nigga is funny because the scenario shits be fucking crazy as shit. You took your trash out today. Your man is playing 2K. He's 37, and hopefully he gets it. Like, it'd be shit like that. Like, he's funny. But the Justin LaBoy had a joint the other day, and the question was, ladies, have you ever been picked up at the airport by your man after cheating? And
oh boy.
The answers
when we caught it, it was 40 posts.
Yeah.
On Facebook. It was a 40 ball. Like, excuse me?
And the comments weren't wild to me. You know what I'm saying? Where we were in New York, we went to the sex museum. Yeah. And they have, like, you know, old sex museum shit, you know, museum for sex shit. Yeah. And at one of the what do you call things in museum? Like the
displays.
One of the displays was of a sex carnival from the 1800s. And Lee was like, damn, that's crazy. They used to have sex carnivals. I'm like, they still do. It's called Philly versus Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, you know, you go to these things, these events.
It's called PBA week in Philly, Baltimore, Atlanta.
You know what I'm saying? Lil last night was like, yo, Philly always invading somewhere. Why don't nobody ever invade Philly? I'm like, because niggas ain't trying to get shot and ride dirt bikes. It's like, what the fuck? Like, but no, it's the truth. It's like, you go away for these weekends and shit.
Niggas come to Philly for a weekend, you gotta take them on a Chinese store tour. store. You gotta just take them. Yo, don't go to this Chinese store right here. Danny Walk's got the best wings. Don't go to this joint.
No, real talk.
Anybody that don't got triple
it's the truth. You've never seen
bullshit.
Chicago take over Philly.
And you ain't gonna.
You know what I'm saying? Toronto take over Philly, take over. Like, you've never seen that shit. But mine just know where to go. You know what I'm saying? There's only 2 places to go. So, yeah, that's it. But no, it's like these answers were, like, perplexing to people. And I'm just like, how? Do you not live in America? Do you not live on Earth? Like, I
think people have like a shelter reality, so to speak, on certain shit, and like people are really sexually repressed, and the people that aren't are just completely yard the fuck out. Like they just completely shot out and probably need to be handcuffed to a radiator.
Yeah.
Like they need supervision. Like they need a. We talk about something. They need an advocate. Like they need somebody to walk around and be like, "Yo, no, don't fuck the door, man." Like,
so out of the responses you saw, what was the most ridiculous? Because I know you have a couple.
These are my favorite ones. I said, she said, "Yep, had a threesome, came back pregnant."
That's wild. I saw one shorty that said she fucked a nigga on her vacation and felt pregnant. I don't even understand that.
Felt pregnant, so I came home and fucked my nigga. It's your baby.
She came home and fucked her nigga immediately, so that way
it's your baby. That the sperm will mix up in the egg, and then that's not.
Apparently,
how
that can happen with twins. Did you notice?
Yeah, they can split.
I saw this the other day that. Like, if you hit a chick and I hit her within the same ovulation period, it can be 2 different sperm catch the egg, and like.
Yeah, we're gonna flip a coin though and see who the dad is though. We ain't gonna have.
Yeah, I don't want to go parts.
I don't want to go half.
Yeah.
On the twins, like, nah, we gonna flip a coin and see who motherfucking.
That's all you, big dog. Like,
I mean, listen, nigga, like the dice said 5. Yeah. Nigga, I told you if it was 4 or better, then it was you. What the fuck?
Crazy, but no, she said she felt pregnant. I was like.
Yeah. This ain't it.
Yeah,
this is going left.
This ain't it.
This ain't it. All right, so another one. Sent me in edible arrangements while I was PR. I fed them to the dude before we fucked.
That's wild.
And then my personal favorite, yes, had a threesome with my best friend and a guy I thought was gay who came with us.
Jules hit me, man. I guess it just wafted over me that I like missed that. She was like, man, what the fuck these hoes be talking about? And it's like, that's literally like, all right, you on anything.
Yeah, fucking anybody, literally.
yeah, like
literally fucking anybody.
You going away and you going to do what you do. Oh, shit, you straight?
you just a little androgynous. My bad.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Oh, shit, I thought you was gay, boy.
Hey, I've been wanting to give you some pussy for like a year and a half. Damn, like. What's up?
Oh shit, you straight? Dog, that's really you fucking anybody. Like anybody. You know what I'm saying?
So which ones did you take interest in?
About to show them to you. Okay, so my personal 3 favorite were yes, he even got me a gift for completing my training. That was bizarre. It's like, come on, sis. Like, come on, man. Like, it's bad enough. You know what I'm saying? You lying about going to a training. Because I done bought you a sweater, and your bitch ass like, come on.
Fucking hang you with this sweater, bitch.
Like, come on. That shit was ridiculous. Yep, and his best friend that I also be fucking was in the car when he picked me up at the airport. And it's just like, you a hoe. Like, you a super hoe.
You are who Ludacris was talking about.
Yeah, like you a super hoe.
Every time Eazy-E called somebody a bitch or a hoe, he was talking about you.
I got in trouble for calling somebody on the bus a super nigga. But we'll get to that later. But super just makes everything fucking funny. You know what I'm saying?
Goodness.
And then my personal most ridiculous favorite. Your boyfriend ever picked you up from the airport after a long weekend of cheating? Yeah. The nigga I was cheating with in Miami stole my phone, so my man had to bring me one. Bitch, you got robbed.
Nigga fucked you and robbed you.
Like, come on. Like, put your shit in a pillowcase. The fuck are you doing? Yeah, and it's just man. Like that, and that brought the question up for us in our, like, amongst ourselves in our chat. When does the cheating just become too disrespectful? Where it's like, okay, somebody got to get hit with the butt of a gun.
I can deal with regular old cheating, like
just regular run of the mill cheating.
Took you to the Radisson. Gave you some deeply discounted Henny.
Y'all go to Longhorn, get you a fucking little tough filet, you know what I'm saying? And then you go do what you do. Cool. But my thing is, why do you have to like?
Don't make me. What the line is for me? I thought about it. Don't make me a part of your cheating experience. Don't bring me into the cheating experience.
Dog.
Leave me on the sideline while you doing your thing, ma'am.
If you tell me you going away with your friends, cool. Don't tell me you going away to training. To where I gotta go get you a gift for completing the training.
And a business suit.
Yeah. like
you
that.
Come back without the suit. Then what happened to the suit? Oh no. Side nigga that nutted all on the suit.
Yeah, Lewinsky your suit. Like, what the
man,
fuck?
You're bugging.
That for me is
don't make me a part of it, man. Because now I got to kill you and go to greatest for it and do 30 with the lifers. Like I don't want to do that.
Don't fuck my friend and let me have him in the car when I'm picking you up.
Don't fuck my friend and then let us stay friends.
Dig me. Do something to break us up.
You stinking bitch. Like,
you let me go to PJ Wellingham's and watch the game with this nigga.
This nigga texting you, your nut ass boyfriend.
No. Like when you coming in, I'll be like, yeah, I'm about to come with Chad. Just come by yourself. I don't want to be around nobody. It's like, say something.
Yeah. He got bad energy.
Yeah. That nigga chakras is off. Something.
He throwing off my feng shui.
But that be my joint. When do the cheating just become too disrespectful?
Yeah, once you start fucking people like that they are friends with, not even, it's one thing to like fuck somebody that they know, but it's like that they know but they not like close to. It's like, right. Oh yeah, and I've seen a bitch around. Well, that's different than like you bringing a girl around. Like if I'm in a relationship and I'm cheating and I'm bringing a girl around and I'm telling my girl, oh, this is my best friend, and I'm fucking a bitch. Like
right.
Now you got to stab me because I'm disrespectful.
Right.
And people don't understand that like some levels of engagement and disrespect warrant violence. Like because there's no material response or verbal response I can give you. I gotta cut you now.
Like you playing
too much.
I had a conversation with my homie the other day because I work at a place where it's like a lot of people.
Yeah.
You've worked in work like
for sure.
You've all worked in places where like, you have multiple co-workers. And the first thing they tell you when you come to fuck to work somewhere is no dating or
inter-office mingling.
None of that shit should be popping off. And then after a week of you sitting at the lunch table, you realize everybody fucking. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you just like, goddamn, so nobody going here to the
rules. You're the only one.
You're the only one.
When I worked at Enterprise, I realized, listen, right? When I worked at Enterprise, I realized I was the only one not partaking. They called it elationships. They had a term for it.
Elationships.
Managers. Listen, right? Managers. Managers were dating their direct subordinates.
I ain't gonna say no names, but a high-ranking person at hauled off. I see the chick come off the elevator one day. I look, ain't thinking about it. He just like, yeah, she freaky as shit. Huh?
Yo,
like, dog.
I was so afraid that this is before Me Too. I was so afraid I was going to get Me Too'd in advance. I just would never do it. I would fuck all the customers, but I wasn't fucking nobody that worked there.
I don't play that shit. And I
don't play that shit. I was rigid about that. Even when I worked at, nobody don't believe me. Even when I worked at Vanity in the strip club and shit, I never fucked none of them girls.
I don't want the workplace drama. I don't want it. Who wants that shit? And I think I might be the only one who just ain't got no nonsense going on, yo. And it was funny because me and my man, we was standing at the bottom of the steps, and one of the chicks working at our job, she came down the steps, she hugged him, and was like, "What's up, Matt?" And he was like, "Damn, you didn't give my man Matt a hug." And she was like, "Matt, don't play that shit." I'm like, "Keep your fucking hands off me, bitch. Like, don't fucking touch me." And I had to tell one of the niggas I work with because he be hugging everybody. And somebody else noticed, like, yo, you notice he hug everybody? I'm like, dog, you like Barney. You gotta stop touching these bitches, man. Like, you gonna end up in the back. I'm telling you, dog. Like, you be tripping.
You gonna end up in the conference room.
We come up the steps, so they got nurses at our depot now doing temperature checks and shit, 10 to 4. So he come off the elevator. I'm coming up the steps, so you can see into the glass. So you go into where the temperature check is. I see him go through the door, whatever. I don't really think nothing of it. Chick do the temperature, John. And then I'm like, this nigga hugging the temperature. Bitch. Even working. Like, this nigga hugging the temperature. Like, some motherfuckers is just like that in the workplace. And I'm not one of them to where it's just like, I don't need to touch you. That shit do nothing for me. So I think that shit is like shied off all of the probabilities of, and I'd be like, yo, y'all be in this joint wildin'.
You would have to, like, if I was in a workplace scenario, a chick would have to, like, write me, like, a note attached to a contract, attached to a promissory note not to pursue charges if shit go left.
And then you gotta get it notarized.
And then I gotta get it notarized. Like, flat out. Like,
so the reason I brought that shit up is the fact that, like, you know, motherfuckers be dating. Like, not just, like, fucking around me, like, real deal, like, relationships. And then they still be, like, fucking. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it'd be like, this chick is clearly in a relationship, but she's and that's where I be on the tip where it's just like, how the fuck do you work with your spouse?
it's impossible.
Like, it's impossible. Cause if I come in and it's a nigga at this table, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck is he doing over this joint? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
it'd be like wild to me watching it go on because it's like, yo, what's up? Like, and I be looking at like some of the guys, it'd be like, dog, do you not?
Are you unaware?
I don't talk to nobody and I know this shit. So how the fuck do you ain't, you know what I'm saying? And that's where I just be like, yeah, I can't work with somebody. Cause, and I just can't be around you in that aspect because if you is gonna have a work husband or whatever the fuck you gonna have, I don't gotta see this shit. I don't gotta know this shit.
Right.
And I said this shit to my man the other day. You go looking for shit, you gonna find it. It's just
100%.
The way it go. You know what I'm saying?
All day and tomorrow.
Like, seriously, it's the way you look for the shit, you gonna find the shit. And no, I don't want to see it. I don't want to know. I'm cool.
Yeah,
dog.
I'm good.
I'm cool.
I'm good.
But it just be wild seeing that like this cheating shit is like a real deal. Like, and that's where I like to myself, like, is it even cheating anymore?
It's like part of industry. Like, it's like standard.
You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just the norm.
Yeah. But my thing be like, why be in a relationship? Like, and it's like, I get it. Like, you know, human nature is to want more than one person and all that shit. I get it. But it's one thing if we in a relationship and it's like, I'm cheating, you cheating, and it's like, it's unspoken. It's another thing if like, we in a relationship and you keep going out of your way to bust me for cheating and you cheating too. Like, lay off me, sis.
I had a chick talking to me one day on the bus, just over the top talking, flirting, saying little shit. So I'm just looking at her hand. Like, I kept looking at her hand. She had a ring on and shit. So I'm looking at shit and she was like, why you keep looking at my wedding ring? And I'm like, because it's a wedding ring.
Yeah.
Like, and she was like, oh, would that bother you? I'm like, I'm not married, bitch. I'm like, you're the one that should be bothering.
That bother you?
But that shit is real, man. It's wild.
It's a dirty game.
It's a dirty game. Is any man worthy of fame? Much success to you. Like,
yeah, it's rough out here, man.
Scary, man. Scary hours.
But you know what's, before we end this topic, even the white girls are getting in on the gag now. I saw a viral TikTok the other day, and a white girl was talking about why you should cheat just in case. It made me sick to my stomach. I said, "Damn, where can a black man go to?"
What did she say?
She basically was like, it's like, you know, do you feel like your boyfriend might be doing something? Are you suspicious of him? Are you such and his name and all? She's like, cheat just in case. Even if you wrong, at the end of it, you never know. Go on that trip, go on that date, and I'm just like, let him fly you out. And I'm like, you're gonna get white women killed now. Like
that for me is another Joan where it's like flying out and going on vacations, and it's just like, cause it's past you just wanting something different. And I had these talks all the time. Like, monogamy is rough. We get that. You know what I'm saying? Fucking. My favorite food is lasagna. I could eat it every fucking night. But eventually I'm going to want some chicken wings. It's just human nature to want some different shit. So, cool. But if I decide I want some chicken wings and I fly to San Diego, I'm drooling. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of chicken wings and shit. You know what I'm saying? Now you just tripping. Yeah. And that for like, when you going on trips and vacations and, leasing cars, just doing crazy shit.
But you know what? Sometimes, like, that be a nigga initial come off, like, let's go on a trip. Like, because they know the average woman is not strong enough to turn that shit down. So they just go right to the top. Like, let's go on. I got homies like that. I'm saying, what's going on? Let's go to Houston this weekend. Let's go to Vegas. Let's go to... Not to mention an island. Oh man.
Yeah, but how the fuck do you get away?
Man, people find creative ways to lie to get a free vacation.
Like you just, I gotta go on a business trip. It's like, bitch, you work at Costco.
You work at Sears. Business fulfillment center. What are you doing? And the sad part is, right, the average nigga is so horny and so wrapped up in himself that he don't even give a fuck that she going away because he think about all the pussy he gonna get while she on a vacation.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
He like, oh yeah, man, I just want to drive you all to the airport. Oh no, it's cool. I'm gonna take an Uber. All right, baby, no problem. What time your flight leave? He setting up bitches. You gotta be there 2 hours early. All right, so
Mayday, the flight late.
He's setting up shit for first thing in the morning.
That's scary, man. That's
It's rough, man.
That's rough.
It's rough. But yeah, so I say all that to say, you know, the white girls are getting in on like, you know, something that was like, it was like a secret society. It was reserved for like black culture only.
White women be the biggest cheaters. The white wives and shit.
Yeah, but they wasn't publicizing the shit.
I mean, everything's publicized now.
Yeah, for sure.
But white wives be having whole fucking, you know, they be getting gangbanged and all kinds of crazy ass shit.
They be making their husbands watch. Daryl's coming over to give me that BBC this weekend. You can stay or you can go.
Daryl.
Darrell.
Oh, shit. I want to knock some of these y'all weirds out.
Yeah, we got a triple header of y'all weirds.
We haven't done y'all weirds in a minute, and y'all have been extremely weird. I want to start with the paintball shit because I don't know what is the paintball shit.
So the paintball shit is motherfuckers are riding around in packs, usually like on dirt bikes or in cars or whatever, shooting paintball guns at unsuspecting people on the street.
Really?
Yes.
I haven't seen any. Again, I don't
Popular
be on Instagram.
Philadelphia rapper who shall remain nameless has been a part of said gangs, and they've been doing this shit for weeks now. And people have gotten arrested, people have been hurt with this shit, all type of shit. My whole question is, what happens when y'all start throwing paintballs and niggas start throwing bullets
the
back?
Blicky, yeah, like this city is just
in a city with almost 400 murders.
We're at 400.
They said it was like 393.
399. 4 people got killed yesterday.
Oh, well, what the fuck?
I'm pretty sure I seen that on the news last night, unless I'm fucking tripping.
I saw I watched the 11 o'clock news last night. They said 393. Oh, well, the fuck, yeah.
4 people got killed yesterday. We got 399. Tell you.
So we in a city with 400 murders, and y'all are riding around
400 in October,
doing shit to where you could get murdered.
Mm-hmm.
Like
enticing a murder.
You're enticing a fucking murder. Like, I don't understand it.
Phil, did you see the video of the girl letting the lantern fly hit the weed?
Yes. Do you know there's a page dedicated to the Philly lanternflies?
Philly is a strange town, man. We are a strange little town. The men are jealous and the women all in competition. This town is nuts. Yeah, riding around with a paintball gun, riding around with any
But like several paintball guns. Like
it's just not smart.
It's 30 niggas and you got motherfucking 30 paintball guns and you just riding around.
You ever hit with a paintball?
No, but I know that shit hurt.
That
like
shit hurts.
It break the skin sometimes.
It literally could feel. It feels like that's what you getting shot with something.
Yeah.
That's what the fucking. So it's like, yeah, you at the gas pump and somebody randomly just and you hear that shit and it hits you on your shoulders, your back. Your natural reaction is to turn around. And I'm licensed, you know what I mean? That's a natural reaction to just, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that could end terrible.
Yes. So, for those of you that are participating in this,
that's not even
stop.
y'all weird. That's just y'all not the fuck smart. That's just dumb.
Yes. Absolutely.
It's this city, boy. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yes.
Because I told you I haven't really been on
It's been going on for weeks.
The nigger net, so I haven't really been seeing anything. The car shit on 676. I want to save the sweetie shit. The car shit on 676 was especially ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
So I live out where they be doing this racing shit. And they be doing that shit at 1, 2, 3. Dog. other night, I work late on Saturday. I do the last 49, so I don't get done till 1:30.
Yeah.
I got done talking to my dispatcher. You know, because she pretty cool, whatever. I ain't leave the depot till like 2.
Yeah.
Left, got home 2:30. I stopped at Wawa and shit. Came home 2:30, 2:45.
Yeah.
The nigga was backing his Mustang off the trailer. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, dog. It was 2:45. The nigga had his head out the window, back in the jaw, off of the trailer.
Time to do some work, baby. The Stang is back.
I cannot make that up.
At the end of this, I gotta play something too.
It's so funny because I got a voice note where I was going off about the shit the other day when I came to fuck home, and you could hear them in the background. I'm just like, this shit is nuts. But seeing them do it on 676 is especially atrocious because it's like, y'all know 76 is already bad enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I just logged on World Star. Why do they have something called a bodega boxing match? Like, what the fuck is going on? It's the top video on World Star. 2 guys participate in a boxing match at a bodega. Like, yo, I hate the universe.
The whole world, man. This shit is over. But the 676 shit is so ridiculous because 76 is fucked up already. It's always fucked up. For y'all to stop traffic for this absolute nonsense is like,
yes, man.
Come on, man. Like, y'all could go on any back block, Holstein Avenue somewhere and do all the burnouts and shit you want to do. But it's like, we've reached the, remember you said it about the rap shit, like the savage and we don't give a fuck. And that shit is everywhere. It's just prevalent in every part of life now. It's ridiculous. What are you looking for?
This did you see the commercial, the viral commercial with the guy selling the Hellcat this weekend?
Oh yeah, the white boy.
Yo, it's the best commercial ever. I have to play this shit on air.
You have it?
I have it.
What's up, guys? My name's Brody, and I'm here to tell you about my Dodge Challenger Hellcat. Now, this ain't your knick-knack scatty pack. This is the SRT, or CERT, short for Certified Badass. This thing's packing a 6.2 just like me. Check this out. These rotors right here are bigger than my ego. Take a look at the inside. As you notice, it's got red seatbelts dyed with the blood of Mustang owners. And this thing's got back seats so I can take my girlfriend's bad kids to Chuck E. Cheese. Follow me around the back. Now this thing right here is a Wang. That's with 3 A's, like the company that picks Mustangs up off the side of the highway. Haters will call this thing a boat, but that's because it floats right past them. Mopar, baby.
That white boy is hilarious. He got a couple of them jokes.
Yeah.
Like, he's funny as shit.
Popped the balloon. I was done.
He sliced it.
The best fucking commercial of all time.
That's a Wang with 3 A's.
Is that commercial, and then Eastern Motors got the second best.
Yeah, that shit is funny too. But yeah, no, they be acting a fucking fool with them Chargers and them. That shit is nuts.
It's
man.
all the Charger and Challenger owners, yo. They're the worst ones out of everybody.
And the crazy part, it don't even be like SRT Challenger niggas.
It be scatty packs.
Yeah. It be RT
Might
niggas.
be a rally.
Yeah, it be RT niggas wildin'. You know what I noticed the other day too about, we always talk about how bad the traffic is, motherfuckers running lights and doing this crazy shit.
Yeah.
You ever notice that there's always somebody in a van?
A van, any Dodge product. And I had a motherfucker the other day flew past me. I was in my Honda. I'm coming up Ridge Avenue, going north toward Manayunk, whatever. I'm coming past Cecil B. Moore, the projects, all of that shit. So he comes up to the light on the side of me. I'm at the light. I'm first. He pulls up in what would be like a turning lane.
It don't even be a turning lane
Right,
at the time.
right at the projects. And he decides I'm jumping the light. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm not in a rush to go nowhere. It's like 9 o'clock on a Friday night. I'm not going nowhere. So I notice he has the same car as me. He has no tint on the window. So I notice he got his girl and his kid in the car. This motherfucker proceeds to run the next 7 lights up Ridge, past Ridge Capital, past the pharmacy. And I'm just like, where are you going?
Dog.
With your kid in the car.
Dog.
Somebody T-bone your stupid ass.
Dog. The nigga took the corner the other day. Listen to me. I am not making this up. The nigga comes ripping around the corner through the red light in front of my depot, right on the corner, 27 Allegheny.
Yeah.
I do the 48, so I'm standing out there talking to Ant. The nigga rips around the corner in a F-150 with 3 kids in the back of the fucking bed. Like Rottweilers. I couldn't believe the shit. right through the light. The fucking bus was coming down Allegheny to 60. He turned right in front of the bus and dicked it up Allegheny. It was 3 kids in the back, like fucking bull mastiffs, just sitting in the back of the fucking bed of the truck. I was like, yo, what the fuck was that? And he dicking it down Allegheny. I'm like, them kids don't stand a shot in hell.
Yeah, this is their guardian.
This is the person
who's
in charge.
responsible for them. You 6 and you got to deal with this nigga for the rest of your life, at least till you turn 18. If you make it to 18 with a parent like this.
It's not funny, but man, it's hilarious. It's like
Some people are doomed.
the stress that little motherfucking kids be having when they got bad parents. Dog.
It's unbelievable. It's unfucking-believable.
Like, I know me for a fact, just because of the parents I had and me how I was as a kid. If my dad put me in the back of a pickup truck and pulled off, I'm like, oh, what the fuck is you doing? Kids back there chilling, eating Cheetos. This shit not even scary.
Yo, I remember one time, me and my brother.
I hate everybody.
Me and my brother had to be about. I'm probably was like 8. I was probably about 8 and he was 6. We was in a fucking 2-door Cutlass, like an 87 2-door Cutlass.
Joan with the door handle up here.
Which was the first mistake.
Yeah.
And our Uncle Chubb is driving the car. He's one of them grease monkey niggas, always dirty, never looked clean his whole life, always covered in grease.
Yeah,
So
hands, nails is dirty as shit.
he's driving. We in Southwest. We coming off my grandma block on 55th and Pent Ridge. This motherfucker is dicking it.
That's how
You know, all them cars got them big blocks in it. This motherfucker turns the corner. The door
definitely sound like a snow owl coming up the street.
The door weighed more than 8-year-old me and my 6-year-old brother combined. The door flies the fuck open. Flies the fuck open, and we almost fly out the car on fucking Willows, on 56 and Willows, yo.
Yo, I got my man Mark 8. He had a Lincoln Mark 8 just like my first job. I get in the passenger seat like, yo, come on, we going to Franklin Mills. I'm this motherfucker. All right. We get up here to the Woodhaven exit. You know, you come off and you make the big left turn. We making the turn. The door swung open. The passenger door. I'm like, ah! Started screaming. He pulled over, was like, man, what your bitch ass screaming for? He reached over me trying to pull the door in. He like, man, I need to put new tape on the joint. This nigga had electric tape on the door hook.
That's what was separating you from the asphalt?
When you slam the door, the tape would like, nigga, what? Take me to Foreman Mills and I'm calling a cab. I was hype as shit. I was pissed. This nigga had electric tape holding the door
together. Back seat going home, yo.
Dog. That's ridiculous. You remember Home Alone 2 when Marv was getting electrocuted? That's how I screamed. I straight paused and was like, ah! It's like, what the fuck? The fucking door swung open, dog. We doing 50 miles an hour.
That's crazy.
Niggas with these fucking cars, man. Like, y'all be on the street in the street in anything, dog. Literally anything.
Yeah, in a fucking in a javelin with wheels. Ready to destroy anything it come in contact
Fucking
with.
javelin. That's really what it be. A spear with tires.
Yo, my life flashed before my 8-year-old eyes, yo. I'm like, yo, I almost died. And he like, man, shut up, little nigga.
Main man took the fucking corner the other day with them kids in the back of a pickup truck, dog. I was just like, that was the most silly shit
Me and Dre Ali was talking about it this morning, and he like, yo, all traffic signs, stoplights is all optional in Philly right now.
Oh, no. Fuck them Jones. And it's crazy because everywhere I'm at, there's somebody flying through the light, coming up the left side, coming out around the bus, ripping through the fucking intersection. And my John be like, the other night when I got to work, I'm coming up Fox Street. You know where the ShopRite is?
Yeah.
You know that long stretch going up to the T-Mobile where the light is? I'm coming up the street. It's like a Ford Ranger, one of them little Ford trucks behind me.
Jones that deliver auto parts.
Yeah, he jumped the fuck on the right side and whoom, past me and comes back in front of me. So I'm to myself, I'm gingerly driving this shit and I'm just like, yeah, I gotta be at this red light first. Fuck big man. And then I'm like, I'm like, to myself as we're approaching the red light, I'm like, what the fuck? Mind you, the light just turned red. So it's like, we're gonna be sitting here. So I'm like, To myself, I don't say I'm in the car by myself.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, you
all
didn't
of
go
this,
anywhere.
all of this, so we could just be at the red light together. As I say that, whoom, right there, I'm like, oh, he had other things. Okay, I see what he's doing. Okay,
He gotta be a child support court apparently.
he ripped. Nigga, it was 1 a.m. He ripped through that red light and then ripped through the red lights at the overpass, the 76, like where the Dunkin' Donuts and the BP.
Where are you going?
And I'm just like, it really do have you like, where are you exactly headed to? That
Like, did you get the my husband gonna be home in an hour? Text you, better get here now. Like what?
I said
what
it. Doug, I literally, last week I hit a nice little 6-teamer for some good money. I just drove carefully down to the casino.
Drove carefully, collected your funds.
Yeah, I don't understand
Drove
what the
carefully
fuck
back.
the issue be that everybody's flying and ripping through shit and doing. The nigga, I told you the nigga did 2 donuts at the red light in an Infinity M37. We was like, what the fuck was that?
This is a 2012. What are you doing?
Light turned green and he took the fuck off. I was just like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah,
like,
people are sick, man. People are really fucking sick.
definitely
bro.
y'all weird with them cars. Y'all getting beside yourselves. Scariest shit ever. So I had the accident, the head-on collision on 33rd and Cumberland, in between Cumberland and whatever the next godforsaken block is at Huntington or whatever the fuck
Probably
it is.
Huntington.
On 33rd Street, I had the accident. So the other day, there was a shooting. I don't know if you know, they've been tearing up that, like, between 29th and 33rd, like
York.
York.
Section? Yeah, it's bad.
It's a shooting every fucking
It's
day.
Beirut.
But there was a shooting on 29th in between York and Cumberland. So you couldn't go up 29th from on the 48.
Yeah.
So I basically took York over to 33rd. I told the people, I'm going to go down York to 33rd, take 33rd to Lehigh, back to 29th. I come down York, turn on 33rd. Now, my accident happened on 33rd in between Cumberland and Huntington.
Okay.
Turn off of York on the 33rd. The light is green. I'm crossing the light at Cumberland. Nigga flying down Cumberland in a Durango. Ooh, right through the fucking red light. You ever hear bus brake? That shit is like I jam on the fucking brakes. People on bus like, yo, what the fuck? He ripped right through the jump. He was doing 60, 70 miles an hour up fucking Cumberland in a Durango. And I hit the brakes and I'm just like, you know how they'd be looking at me if I get in another jump right now?
Oh, no, it's you. It's you. Don't even worry about it. It's you.
And I'm just like, I gotta stay off this little fucking strip. You know what I mean? But the nigga flew through the light in a Durango. Silver jump. It was nuts. And I'm just like, yo, what the fuck, dog?
I just don't be understanding that shit. Like, my biggest...
I'm talking about the light is blatantly green. Like, it's been green my whole way up 33rd Street. So you have no green. There's there's not even a thought of it.
I'm through this
it
bitch.
wasn't like you pulled up, saw nothing coming. It was like...
You never stopped. Yeah.
Remember them glasses you could wear back in the day that would make everything gray? I'm like, he had them Jones on or something. Like, it was nuts. But he ripped right through the motherfucking light, man.
Yeah, like my biggest traffic pain right now in life is Walnut Lane Circle over by Bluebell Park in Roxborough.
Oh, yeah, that
Them
shit
yield
is
signs
nuts.
and shit.
Yeah.
Like, nobody yields. Like, I'm like, yo, y'all do know, like, the people that are coming around the circle don't have to yield. Y'all are entering the circle, y'all have to yield.
People don't understand.
People don't understand the concept of yielding whatsoever. And they like, yo, so, like, do I yield, or is it telling me that they yield to me? Or, like, are we both yielding, or fuck this sign? And it just, every time it turns into fuck this sign.
I see another joint that fuck people up coming in and out of malls. People don't realize coming into the mall, you have the right of way, but you're supposed to stop if you're leaving out. Like, and people don't realize. So they'll come in off the street and come down to the joint and stop. And you be like, nah, bitch, keep fucking
going.
Like, you gotta keep flying. Yeah. People really don't understand traffic patterns at all. Yo, that shit is nuts. Let me ask you this. What do you think we land on for murders this year?
I said, when I saw the numbers last night, I said like 450, 460.
I don't think it's gonna be that much. Because we have 410 months, so that's 40 a month. Oh no, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, quick maths.
It's right there.
The computer started viewing. Yeah, no, we don't. Fuck am I talking about? 410 months mean we doing 40 a month.
Yeah, they said we got the most since 2007.
Easily. 40 murders a month during a pandemic where everybody got money.
Here's the thing.
That's nonsense, man.
26, we still got 5 days till Halloween.
You know what scared the shit out of me the other day? I pulled up late night at 29th and Cecil B. Moore, and you get to where you driving the bus, it's like repetition, just
Yeah.
pulling up, open the door. But I pulled up and I opened the door, and the nigga was standing there with a Michael Myers mask, and I'm like, oh Lord,
It's gonna be a long day, a long fucking day.
and he scared the shit out of me. I was like, you got me. He stepped up, pulled the mask, and was like, what? I was like, man, why the fuck are you outside at nighttime with a Michael Myers mask?
Right.
He was like, fuck you mean? Halloween about to
Celebrating Halloween all month like the
Yeah.
whiteys do. Fuck you mean, nigga?
And he had a Michael Myers mask on,
Because I'm a
scared the
black
shit
man,
out of me.
I'm scary to you.
Like I rarely ever drive on like mischief night and shit like that. But when I do, I don't stop.
Yeah, fuck him.
No, I'm not. I'm like,
Yeah, no, fuck him.
this is an express. If you get on at the beginning, cool.
We got
There's
two stops.
two stops.
Beginning and end.
City Hall and the fucking end of the line, baby. Like I remember my first year, 33, 22nd and Diamond. I pull up to the corner at night. It was like 9 o'clock at night, mischief night. Lady standing out there for the bus. It's 4 young boys standing like 5 feet away from her like this. And I'm like, you ain't getting on here.
Won't trick me with that one.
She like,
little
let me
niggas.
on, the fuck? You know, I'm like, back door. I open the back door. I'm like, you want to get on going in the back?
Yeah.
She went walking down the back door. The niggas, you could just see them like, and they just start pelting the fucking bus with the eggs and shit. You know what I'm saying? I pulled the fuck off, and I'm just like, dog, I ain't about to get hit with that shit, man. White boy a couple years ago got hit with a frozen egg in the head.
Damn.
Like, why y'all freezing them?
Yo, real quick, conversation I had with my girl last night. We was talking about like one of her, teenage brothers and shit like that. And just like, he's 15 years old and just like, going through the puberty process and trying to mature and trying to figure out who he is and who he wants to be as a young man and shit like that. Young men of the world, we're going to have a real show about this, but young black men and young Hispanic men, y'all have to realize that the shit that y'all think is just like little mischief and you just like exploring and having fun with your friends and shit like that, even down to the shit that you say to other teenagers or other grown men can end your life or fuck your life
You're
up
judged on a different scale.
on a way different scale, because when they see you as a 14, 15-year-old kid, they look at you like a grown-ass man when
Right.
you got brown or black
Like when
skin.
they see a 14-year-old white kid holding frozen eggs, they see a 14-year-old white kid holding frozen eggs.
Exactly.
When you see a 14-year-old black kid holding frozen
You got
eggs,
weapons of mass
you look like
destruction.
Jamarcus Russell.
Exactly.
Like it look like you got a fucking cannon in your arm and about to launch that
Exactly.
shit. And you just view differently.
So I just wanted to make this point real quick. It's just like, yo, if y'all got, teenage sons, nephews, cousins, shit like that, little black and brown, talk to them and make sure that they on the right shit and on the right track, because they gonna go out here and they going with these attitudes and this entitlement and can't nobody tell me what to do and all that shit, and they gonna run into a nigga that's having a bad day and he gonna smoke their ass, or they gonna run into a cop that's having a bad day and he gonna knock them upside their head and take them to jail. Like, y'all got to tell them that they are judged on a different scale and show them why, because they don't be getting it, because at the end of the day they are still kids, so they don't be getting it. But you as an adult gotta take a role and make sure that they understand, like, nah, this ain't it.
Yeah, like
don't fuck your life up being stupid and being arrogant.
That's real
and
shit.
being
And
a
it just be
jackass.
like, this shit be for nothing.
It'd be for nothing.
That'd be the craziest part. It'd be for absolutely nothing.
Little boy from their neighborhood, she used to live up Overbrook Park, up like 77th and City Ave, over that way on the Philly side. Little boy, 14, 15 years old, he get in the car with a group of his friends. They take him over to Ardmore. They line him up with some other teenage boys they had a problem with. They come there and kill the boy across the city lines. There's no murders in Ardmore. So now they like, well, how the fuck did he end up dead over here and this and that? They don't even know what it's over. Like, it's over nothing. And then they have a fucking a vigil on the block. 400 people show up. Where was these 400 people to prevent him from getting in whatever the fuck he was getting in, that ended up him losing his fucking life over nothing at 14 years old?
Wild story. I'll never forget this shit. We was on the 65. We got on 65 at Walnut Lane and Henry Ave, right where Los Angeles
Yeah.
is. We got on the 65 going to 69th Street. We would do that shit every day because I went to Saul. So we would do that shit every day going to 69th Street and shit. And I won't say his name because, he's probably out lying and frauding and telling everybody he's tough and shit. But he was a year younger than us. We were in 12th grade. He was in 11th. We was on the bus and we were we got to 63rd and Malvern. People getting on the bus, off the bus, it's not a charter, so it's the regular 65. Old head got on the bus. You can clearly tell old head worked because he got on a bandana and knee pads, and he listened to his little Walkman and shit. Got a thermos. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas they brutes. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas like that. He get on and he's standing up. Like, he don't sit in the seat. He just standing up, holding on to the jump. So, young boy, he maybe like where you at, and he's standing up, like standing over the seat, holding the jump. So he like, and he always one of them little niggas that just always felt himself way too much and way too little, just too much dip on the chip, as they would say. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he like, yo, old head, like, it's seats. Like, why don't you have a seat? So old head, excuse me? He was like, yeah, fuck you standing up over top of me for? Like, go sit down or something. He like, so I was like, yo, cool out. Like, just on the strength, we young, I'm 16, he 15.
He's obviously a grown-ass man.
So I'm just on the tip, like, yo, watch your mouth, grown-ass man, dog. So he's like, don't even worry about it, young brother. It's cool, young blood. And when he said young blood, I'm like, somebody's gonna die.
About to go left.
Go left. So he's like, it's cool, young blood. You right. He step over, like he just basically step out his way, whatever. So, shit, whatever. We riding, coming back behind the golf course. You know how 65 go. Coming into the terminal. We get to the terminal, doors open, everybody get off the bus. I've been down to get my bag, and all I heard was, oh my God. Everybody just screams, oh my God. I turn around, old head got this in his throat and his head up against the bars on the door. He like, young boy, you ever talk to me again like that, I swear to God, I'll take your fucking head off your shoulders. You don't know who you talking to, and you don't know what you talking about.
Oh,
don't you ever fucking speak to me like that again. And he turned to me and was like, you have a good day, young man. I'm like, no doubt. Or you do the same, babe. You do the same, babe. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about he choked the life out of this nigga for a good 10 seconds. He let him go. His eyes was watery, bloodshot, red shit. I'm like, you see what the fuck you get running your mouth? And it's just like, his wife probably cheating on him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What he going through.
You carrying a thermos, like, you can go upside your fucking head with that thermos. And it's just like, like, I've seen like young niggas will just haul off and just say something and it's just like, oh, not for your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, clearly not for your shit. He straight told him it's cool, young blood. Don't worry about it. I feel you.
I'm gonna get where I'm going.
And the crazy part is I didn't even see it. Like, I didn't even see the maneuver.
Because that's how fast
I literally looked this way and heard everybody yelling. I'm talking about, I'm talking about like locked up against the jump. And he just kindly told him, like, don't ever fucking speak to me like that again. Like, you don't know who you talking to. And it's just like, he fuck around and did a stretch. He working his little fucking construction job.
He might have had the bricks back in the day. This nigga going to bus, going to a construction job. He got time for his shit.
Yeah, and it's just like, that shit is the truth. But y'all go outside and just be thinking it can't happen to me. And I'm telling you, it doesn't happen.
No, it will.
It doesn't happen.
It can and it will.
Like, we're projecting, like you said, 450, 460. We're not going. I don't think we hit 5, but it's like
I think we're gonna hit 5, but we gonna be knocking on the door.
Like, we could very easily be at like 470, and that's nuts. Yeah. And it's funny because today I saw somebody at the mayor and was like, 400 murders, really? And Carl was like, what the mayor got to do with it? And it's just like, it's the truth. It's like, we've gotten into a thing where it's just like we're desensitized. Like, everything is shoot shit up status on the strength.
It instantly goes. Me and Nick Sachi was talking about this shit yesterday. And I'm just like, yo, as men, like, of a certain age and shit like that, we know how to filter ourselves in certain situations with other men because we know where it can go.
That situation where the nigga was sitting on the car.
It can go to gunplay in a snap second. And sometimes you on the winning side of it, and sometimes you on the losing side. But you know that every situation can go there. A nigga step on your shoe, a nigga bump you, or it's vice versa, and you don't say excuse me. It could go to 7 people can die over shit like that. So as men, like, you get to a certain age, you make it past the juvenile bullshit and the early 20s bravado and all that foolishness. You make it into your 30s and you start appreciating life. And you're like, damn, I kind of like living. Yeah. I kind of like getting up every day. I don't want a nigga to kill me over a smoothie or some silly shit like that.
Morgan Cephas gonna be bringing bundt cakes and shit. Like, life is fucking lit.
I'm
gonna miss the bundt cake. Yeah, like, exactly. And it'd be like, damn, like, do you got nothing to live for? Nothing.
Listen, man, you go out here, campaigning, you gonna get for ass whooping, you gonna get elected at some point.
Yeah. Somebody gonna write your ass in.
Somebody go write and vote.
Real shit.
This nigga.
This nigga. Real talk though. Somebody gonna write your ass in, man. So yeah, be safe out there. Halloween approaching. Please be safe. I'm gonna knock this last y'all weird.
Yeah, we got to.
Now again, I didn't see this, but I heard some rumblings of it.
I've heard some. No, it rumbled all over the internet all weekend. So basically, Friday, Saweetie, you know her, you love her. She looks very good. She said on, I guess it was Twitter, on a Twitter video, if a nigga can't buy you a Birkin bag and if he not paying your bills, he don't matter. And like y'all do with everything that insert Naker rapper here says, y'all took this shit literal and you made it a part of your life and you ran with the shit. And it became a much bigger issue than it needed to be. And it's crazy because I had a tweet on the last TRPE account that I drafted that I was like, I don't feel like this today. But the tweet was basically like, yo, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. None of y'all are getting a Birkin bag. Like, nobody, none of y'all have Birkin pussy. Like, nobody's not buying you a Birkin bag. Like, so it's like the shit that people take and apply to their lives that don't apply to them is what be weird to me. Even weirder than her saying it, not realizing like you are a role model, you have a platform, young women of not just of color, but of all ethnicities and shit listen to you. And when they hear their favorite artist speak or somebody that they like speak, they're going to take with no context to it. Right. They're just going to take what you said and put their own context to it. They're going to add their own context. And that's dangerous rhetoric because my whole thing is why every time one of these rappers, male or female, say something to try to motivate the people, it's about some material bullshit that they can't add nothing immaterial to your life.
Yeah, it was the Rolly, then it was the AP. It was the AP, then it was the Protect. Then it was Protect, then it was the Richard Mille. And
it was the Gucci bag, then it was the Louis bag, then it was the Chanel bag, now it's the Birkin bag. And it's just like, none of this is going to help you be the best version of you or be a better person. None of these nigger rappers, male or female, are telling you, fix your credit, because if you got a 750 credit score, you can leverage it into XYZ, and then once you do this, you can get your business credit, and then this and this, and then you can have 500,000. Like, they're not telling you none of the real shit, the shit that you need, the shit that me and Matt come on here and tell you every week, the life shit. But we ain't rappers, so y'all ain't listening to us. No. Some of y'all are, but. So it's like y'all will take advice from a motherfucker that dropped out of 7th grade because they got a platinum record, and y'all won't listen to us or Joe Budden or people that really been through real life shit and know that the shit that they're saying is bullshit.
I say it all the time when it comes to like our culture and just how things need to change. It's like people was mad at Ice Cube for what he said, or people mad at Kanye for what he's saying, or people mad that Jay-Z didn't do this, or that, you know, Meek did this or didn't say that. And it'd just be like, yo, like, when it comes to like us as a people, there are black scientists, there are black neuroengineers, there are black economic experts. Why the fuck is Little Baby discussing black economics on CNN? Yeah,
when Dr. Claude Anderson exists.
You dig what I'm saying? And it just be like, that's because y'all gonna look up to what the fuck Little Baby say, as opposed to Dr. Claude Anderson could literally be like, yo, eat 3 meals a day that are well balanced and drink water. Try not to drink soda because you don't need the sugar intake. And then Lil Baby be like, yeah, you know, we sipping lean. And niggas would be like, yeah, you know. Like,
the lean is coming back out.
It's just what it is. So it's like, yeah, it's fucked up, but I think Malcolm X said it. I want to say Malcolm X said it. We're the only culture who will send a trumpet player to like discuss us. You know what I'm saying? Shit. And it's just like, yeah, it's the truth.
Because we're as a people, not me and Matt, not Dan, we're enamored with symbolism. And
Carl talks about that a lot.
And somebody's perceived levels of success. I hate to break it to y'all. A lot of these rappers are broke. A lot of these rappers are in bad deals. A lot of these rappers only literally have what they show you. They don't have no money. Like, the pandemic fucked a lot of these motherfuckers up because they were living so far above their means, reliant upon the show money that doesn't exist no more. And they got to try to they had to scramble the last 7-8 months to figure out where XYZ money is coming from.
Like when you see like Lisa Ray is on OnlyFans and shit like that.
That don't tell you what the fuck going on out here?
It's just like...
And she had a 25-year career?
And a prince. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, yeah, no, like you see, like I always say, you can tell when the shit get low because it's like the reality show starts popping or I think it was Lupe. He had a phenomenal verse. Somebody the other day, they were arguing a better storyteller, Nas or Lupe. And people was like, oh, this is disrespectful to Nas. And I'm like, it is as far as like the legacy.
Right.
It's not as wild as y'all think.
Lupe can rap.
He can rap. He had a verse where he was like, you on your 15th minute of fame. And on the 16th, you begin in the lame. And on 17, you lose everything. The 21st is the worst. Wishing you was 11. Popping like you was 7 with the feeling that you was seconds. Now you just wishing that you was still him. Reminiscing on it was nuts.
Was that on Superstar?
I think it was the remix.
Yeah.
But he basically was breaking down how motherfuckers blow up, get big, and then almost live off of the hype until they're broke. And then they start. It was nuts, but it really broke it down perfectly. I can't just, of course we're like in the moment. Right. But he really, really was fucking it up. And it's the truth. It's like motherfuckers come out, you popping. You might create a lane or a wave, have everybody dressing like you or looking like you. Then you look up, we on the next fad, you still trying like, oh, y'all don't even know about this and still on this clothing that ain't nobody thinking about. It was a nuts verse, but it's the truth. And it's like, yo, that's our culture. Look at Jim Jones with Ballin' in 2008. That was the great, everybody was wearing them chains dangling from they... And he eventually had to just like give it up. Like, all right, this,
I'm 44.
These jeans with all that
I'm
shit.
44. It's just, my ass is showing.
And not dissing because Jim Jones still is around and rock with Rock Nation.
Jim got we just was talking about it pre-show. Jim got a fucking a deal with Revolt.
Yeah,
he's the weatherman. He's doing the drip report.
But you watch these fads and look at the white. Remember the 90 fucking foot white tees that everybody was wearing at one point? It's like that shit came and then it went. And it's just like if them franchise boys, the white t-shirt is done. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, that's the way it go. So it's like, if you not really, really putting down a solid foundation in your real everyday life to where you can transition and do other things, you gonna be dancing around the industry looking crazy. So that's why me and Sean had the whole talk about Tekashi 6ix9ine when he first came out. I was like, why the fuck is this person with him? Why is Akon bigging him up? And I'm just like, dog, Tekashi hot as fish grease. And motherfuckers trying to
200 million fans.
Niggas trying to catch that fucking flame because that's what you do. Niggas will sell their soul. And that's what that verse was about with Lupe. Like motherfuckers straight sell their soul to be on and keep that little fame going. So it's like, it's not shocking. You know what I mean?
So it's like, my whole thing is like, stop taking literal the shit that these dumbass rappers tell you. At the end of the day, they just people that put words together, some better than others. You know what I'm saying? And very few of them are giving you something that is tangible to add real value to your life. And anybody telling you that your value surrounds itself in a fucking bag or a watch or whatever, don't give a fuck about you no way, because there's so much more to life and so much more shit that you can aspire to be. And if you fucking educate yourself and build something of value, you can have all of that shit and not even be fucking thinking about it no more, because it just becomes a part of your day-to-day lifestyle and not something that you gotta aspire to or constantly be enamored with.
Yeah. He said, reminiscing when you was just in, now you just him, no longer the trend they dressed in. Now you wondering where all the press went, you no longer impress them. Get arrested, paparazzi will press then. You fail on purpose to stay a freshman. I lose, but Lou attended school for X-Men. So when I get my cap and gown and put the rapping down, he was fucking that up.
Crazy.
Funniest part about the remix, you know who's on it? T.I. and Jeezy. Yeah. Just to bring things full circle.
Yeah.
T.I. and Jeezy was on the remix to that. But it's like, that's the God's honest truth. It's like putting all your thoughts and feelings into the material shit. And it's crazy because even with me with the Instagram shit, I see it every fucking day. It's like motherfuckers have to show they belt, they purse, they shoe.
They shoelaces, like, nigga ain't got these shoelaces.
And it just be like, do it really even make you happy?
Right.
That be the jump. Like, okay, you get the Birkin bag. Are you happy?
No, because there's always some more cool shit to buy. Like it's the nigger trap. Like
as much as they talk about like the rat race in like the corporate world, there's a rat race in like the material.
Oh, for sure.
Fucking like entertainment world where it's like you don't even like look. Trick Daddy said it. He was like, yo, like. nobody's poor anymore. You ever notice that? Like, nobody come from humble beginnings. He was like, nigga, I was born in 72. The light bills was in my name in 74. Like, we was fucked up. He's like, but nigga, rappers come out the first fucking song, I got the Bugatti. And it just be like...
It's no trajectory upward. It's like, if you starting from here, it ain't nowhere to go but down. If you got the Lamb Truck on your first album, it ain't nowhere to go but down from here, cuz.
Like Nas' first album, he was rapping about looking out his project window.
Right.
Jay first album, he was telling you about 560 State Street. Nigga, like, it's like DMX first album was like, man, I ain't even eat today. I'm hungry. Where them niggas at?
I'm looking for niggas to ride.
You know?
I'm looking for them niggas in that Lexus.
And it just be crazy as shit looking at like how modern rap. I was saying this shit to Jules. I'm like, yo, rap now is terrible. It's all stunting and flexing.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. The flows is terrible. A lot of the music is whack. It's just the Patek and the Rolling. That's it. That's all music is
Listen,
now.
I love Offset and 21 Savage, but I listened to that fucking Without Warning when they first put that joint out, and I was on song 8, and it was 94 million Patek references by song 8, and I was like, yo, I gotta cut this shit off. Like, I feel poor as shit.
It's like our culture like gets a kick out of the vicarious living. Through, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I can't do what he's doing, so I'm going to live through it.
Right.
And it's like, it's like, in a weird way, I'm married to Cardi and got 90 chains. That's the way motherfuckers be thinking. Right. And it just, you realize it's like, it's making you lust for shit that not even one is unobtainable, but just isn't even smart. Ben Baller is one of the biggest jewelers on earth, and Ben Baller says all the time.
Ben Baller's working with the NFL.
Ben Baller straight says all the time,
Snickers.
putting diamonds on shit is just like...
Every artist out there that got some sense has said in the last couple of months, I'm not busting no more watches down. Like, I'm literally just throwing money out the fucking window.
That's all you're doing.
Like Shy Glizzy, Lil Baby, like Jay-Z told us this however many fucking years ago, but it's just like people grasp to what they grasp to.
Nipsey would always talk about like why he has solid gold Cubans. It's like because these shits is going up in value.
Exactly. Yeah, so when you see Nipsey with 30 solid gold Cubans on and his all money in pieces like this thick, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a fucking reason for that. Because if shit get shady, all this shit going back, and they gonna melt this shit down and do whatever the fuck they gonna do with it, and I'm gonna get all my money back.
I'm gonna make more money.
I'm gonna make more money.
Real talk.
So, yeah, so that was us rounding out y'all weird for the week, man. But yeah, I just want y'all to do better, be better, think better. Not necessarily the TRPE nation, because, we have a very intelligent listener base, man, and I can just tell from the feedback that we get, the questions we get, and shit like that our people are on a different wavelength, man, and that's why y'all listen to the show, and we appreciate y'all.
Yeah, definitely, man.
I got nothing else. Shout out to our sponsor, Nutri-Slay Advanced Man's Formula. Do we have women's formula yet, or is it in the works? Women's formula on the way. Nutri-Slay Active Men's Formula. We got pre-workout. We got post-workout. We got fucking vitamins, supplements, all of that.
It's fucking up. It's
fucking up, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube. Every episode now, YouTube. Audio on Monday, YouTube on Wednesday-ish, Thursday sometimes, depending upon, you know what I'm saying? We working with a skeleton budget here. So YouTube.com/The Realest Podcast Ever. We on the road to 1,000 subscribers right now. Once we get to 1,000 subscribers, at random, I'm going to give away some gift cards, some $100 gift cards, $150. We're going to give away some motherfucking gift cards. Y'all get us over 1,000 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? The numbers is up, month over month, but we still got a lot more work to do, man, to crack that, YouTube thing open. So shout out to all the TRP Nation. If you got a Gmail account, if you already have an existing YouTube account, subscribe to the page, youtube.com/The Realest Podcast Ever. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at official TRPE. Officialtrpe.com. The website will be up in probably like another week or two. I got to get with the web designer and finalize all of that. It's going to be fully interactive. We're going to have all of the merch is going back up. We're going to have a podcast player on there where y'all can play the episodes right from the website, all of that shit. And that's pretty much all I got, man.
We gotta set up another live show when we can figure something out.
Yes, we do. I mean, we can set one up now, but it's gonna be like a 60-person capacity,
Yeah.
and I'm not really trying to do that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to do that either.
Yeah. So live show coming soon. You know, apparently COVID is exploding again. They said they reported 83,000 more cases the other day.
Yeah, 8 in one day.
In one day. So
bad.
we just haven't gotten it, man. So y'all out there, man, be safe. Make sure y'all wearing y'all masks, wash your hands, and protect y'all older people in y'all family, aunts, uncles, grandparents, parents, shit like that. Make sure y'all doing the right thing so that they don't catch the Rona.
Yeah.
Other than that, man, we out. We will be back next week, which will be November. First show in November. Holy shit, the year is flying, man. Wherever y'all at, man, stay safe, stay out of trouble, and please, Philadelphia, decrease the murder rate. Stop this shit, yo.
Yeah.
It's going too crazy.
We out.
Peace.